Like the video. Thumb up the video.
Hey, Sonetta, I got a question for you. Won't you tell me why it is that the world of academia, intellectual circles, respected scientists, reputable theologians, and world-renowned thinkers and philosophers, innovators, leaders in their field, people that are actually in the labs, on the ground, in the classrooms, figuring out ways to beat diseases, advance medicine and technology, etc., why do they not have anything like the House of Consciousness?
I have become greatest of the great. I have come into being among the beings who clear the vision of his soul eye. I know why a greatest block is made for a what? A what? So never disrespecting again.
Because God, when the flood took place, 48 days, 49, he allowed so much as a pig. He put a spirit on the pig. He let the women eat their own babies. How come God didn't put a spirit on the Israelites and stop them from eating their own children?
Kemet on trial, title of that damn lecture. Destroyed the Hebrews with the power of our ancestors. Our clans better didn't talk or debate on Daniela or Zion Lex. Don't hate on Kemet, y'all fans betcha. And Sonetta bringing knowledge to the masses with the undisputed knowledge they don't teach in classes. Kemet, Black Power movement, do you understand? We on trial, Hebrews thought they had the upper hand. Polite killed them with that footage from the motherland. Hush too much rah-rah, Nazi Elder Gabar, the young Yawasop. When is y'all gon' stop? We got tombs and mummies, y'all just got some rocks. Me and my squad illa, plus the Magi and the God Killer. Shout out to Hefshesut and the King Heru, the son of Amin-Ra, Asepata Asa. Nile Valley's here, we came to bring it home. Kim is back to claim the throne.
Okay, so I need to tell people, please, wake up. They can't show me or show the bones of anybody in the Bible. They can't show me no Hebrew. If the Hebrews built the pyramids, where did pyramids before?
Amin-Ra squad up, Magi archers in the building, please believe. Oh shit. If you ain't Sonetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to blogs. Clan kill off the Buddha, not being discreet. One puff, this big pops and projectiles. Between the sheets. Sun run, cold game, bring your cleats. The best flow blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turf with 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Ayo, Dolomite prototype soldier with the solar light. Saber and he hold it like he hold a mic. Golden ice pendants. Sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic, spoke the nice lyrics like Mama moved mean overnight. Golden motorbike holding on some Tron shit. That nice neon kit is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of the poor imported foreign threads, they ain't got at the store. Nubian Kush and black top pottery jaws, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rappers try to spit ain't hot as before. It's like I'm 5 flights above, bust the shots to the floor. Cats switch up their style when they ain't got it no more, cause they gotta keep their product in stores to feed their kids. See what that weed did? The yes man agreeing on everything we said. I smell the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced and beat with the butt of the knife. Brother polite, I say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic. E5 divination, channel the mystic. Audio visionary, let's play poetical Pictionary. Picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. Invisible, independent, intrinsic shit. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible games. Charles Xavier, getting your brain. Mental anguish or manifesting physical pain. Wizard remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm up out of this physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise, weaponized greenery. Shine at a jeopardize the scenery, son. Bruh, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines convention. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautic fake out. God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer. That's who it is. The God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Well, who we? Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's Bobby banging this bitch. And I'm coming to do what I got to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, God killer in the house. What's up, family? Man, y'all already know, man. Appreciate the people coming out, man. Man, check out the Bobby Banger morning show, man. Holla at me in the morning, man. Your boy be there at 9 o'clock sharp, man, right here, man. Y'all got the holla. The show be real fast paced, man. Morning bash. Shout out to everybody that contribute, man. Shout out to everybody that come through. Appreciate all the support, man. I'ma always have real accurate information, man. And just stay with me, man. Stay with me. It might take you, no shitting. It might take you a few times hearing what I gotta say, right? It might take you a year or two. It might take you a couple years for real, man. Just stay with me, though, right? You might be like, I get it, yo, because we got the believing brain, yo. So I get it. Just listen, man. Really. Let me see if I can find a word for y'all, man. That's what it is, man. Look. All right. I think this is important. I do. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So let me share this for you real fast. We can just get right to words. Let me show you why you should just probably stay with me a little bit. Just a little bit. We can come to Cambridge real quick. Counterintuitive. Make sure I said that right.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah, counterintuitive. What's counterintuitive? Something that is counterintuitive does not happen in the way you would expect it to. See what I'm saying? It may seem counterintuitive to open a store in the middle of a recession. See that? Steering a sailboat is counterintuitive. You push the till the opposite way to the way you want it to go. Just like everybody out there, all my truck drivers, yo, when you backing up a trailer, yo, you know you stir right into the daggone thing. It's opposite of what you would think. It's counterintuitive. You would swear that you're supposed to turn it. No, is actually counterintuitive, ladies and gentlemen. So science is not common sense, because common sense would say, you know, when I'm backing up that trailer, yeah, I'm saying I need to set. No, you stare the opposite way. Common sense would kill you. So science is mostly not common sense, ladies and gentlemen. It actually is not. It's counterintuitive. So what I'm asking you to do is, I'm saying, look, man, I know we got all our beliefs. You know, it's counterintuitive to think that it's not a God. Like you be saying, yo, look at all this stuff right here. Yo, somebody had to make us. It's counterintuitive. Actually, no one had to make us. The creator, the intelligent designer, the creator, the intelligent designer knows everything. It's perfect in all its glory. And then you realize 99% of all living organisms have went extinct. So how could the intelligent designer be that goddamn intelligent that most of the things he make die? Oh, you made that up on? Oh, did I? No, we starting off on fire today. Right? I really got that package. Y'all just, you know, it's a counterintuitive package. Counterintuitive for a person to come on YouTube and say, yo, really, I'm not the guy with the information. It's the experts. I'm going to direct you to them. Most people want to take the credit for that. See? Mm-hmm. They do. They can't help themselves. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I can make a statement that was false. That's this. Oh, yeah, you Googling your man. Shut up. Of course, man. You're supposed to have that top level Google game, right? You're supposed to know where the museums are. You're supposed to know where the good sources are. You're supposed to know that. Uh-huh. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me show this for you. Mm-hmm. Share the screen, because we starting off on fire, because we can. Do we got an ego? You damn right. Look up the word. We definitely confident. Mass extinction events. Around 65 million years ago, something unusual happened on planet Earth. We can see it in the fossil record. We talked about fossils on the Morning Bash show. Gave a good presentation on it. We was in and out. The fossils that are abundant in the earlier rock layers are simply not present in the later rock layers. Remember, we talked about strata and layers in time, and as you go dig down deeper, you know what I mean, things get older. That's how we know humans have evolved over time, because humans do not stay looking the same way, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't. They change over time. As we go past 350,000 years, right, humans start to look different. So we can surmise, based off of the change over time, that they are transforming by way of Charles Darwin natural selection. But he racist. Shut up. A wide range of animals and plants suddenly died out, from tiny marine organisms to large dinosaurs. Species go extinct all the time. Scientists estimate that at least 99% of all species of plants and animals that ever lived are now extinct. Make it bigger for you, so you don't think I'm just telling you anything. I'm actually not. Make sure y'all see that. Go ahead and take that snapshot. I'm going to say this again. Species go extinct all the time. Scientists estimate that 99% of all species of plants and animals that ever lived are now extinct. All the time. So you talking about a creator. Shout out to the community of skeptics. We know what it is, man. We're skeptical about everything human beings tell us. UFOs, Congress, we're skeptical. Being skeptical is a way of saving yourself early in the game. Man, what's up with the chat, man? Put my Cash App in there, man. Hey, Cedric, what's good, man? You brought a good source, man, about the Libyan dynasty. Let me put it up. Thank you, Mr. Cedric. Appreciate you, bro, man. I always give the strong ones credit, man. All right. I wish I would have seen it during the show. The 23rd dynasty of Egypt. The 23rd dynasty of Egypt, usually classified as the third dynasty. My fault. It's the third dynasty. Did I read that right? Why did they put that there? Usually classified as the third dynasty of the ancient Egyptian. Okay. Third intermediate period. This dynasty consists of a number of, let's say, kings. They say Meshwish kings who ruled either as pharaohs or as independent kings, a part of Upper Egypt. Remember, the Upper Egypt is where you find the darker Egyptians at, and the Nubians in Upper Egypt. Remember, the upper is really the lower. Okay. It goes on to say Upper Egypt from 880 BCE to 720, and the pharaohs from 837 BCE to 728. All right. Government, religion, Thebes, Heliopolis, the capital, he succeeded. Let's see. All right, where we at? Got the name. Osikoan II. Chinese dynasties. Hold on. This confirmed by Pianki Stella. Yes, Pianki must have came up in there. All right. Further reading. Kings. Let me see here. Man, I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Y'all know we about to get into that UNESCO thing, man. We're going to just bring it, like we supposed to bring it, man. We ain't going to do the hyperbole today. Shout out to Smash Rock Wellington. Shout out to Smash Rock Wellington. I like that motherfucking name right there. That nigga say he was Smash Rock Wellington. And you know how Smash can make that voice? Smash Rock Wellington. I was like, damn, that was slick. Black people make things slick, man. That, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I use the term black for political reasons because I'm definitely black and I'm proud. But when I'm talking paleontology, paleoarchaeology, anthropology, biological human evolution, when I'm having a scientific conversation, I'm going to stick to the terms used in science so there will be no goddamn confusion. So when we make the statements and talking about the Nile Valley, although some people may think that that's out of my pay grade, right? We're not reading the glyphs. We reading the bones. We reading the genetics. We're reading the strata that these bones was found in. We're doing an anthropological study. So whenever we're talking about biological populations, right, and populations on the Nile are biological populations that are Homo sapiens or just Homo sapiens, right? We're talking biological human evolution. This is really the conversation. So the more you understand evolution, the more you will understand the conversation. The less you understand evolution, the more you say that damn uncle's crazy, yo, he turned his back on us. It's not my fault. Science is counterintuitive. We seek the objective truth. Popularity seeks the subjective truth. Opinionated. Bias is brought into conversations. I'm not doing that. I'm bringing you the objective truth. And this is where people fall off all the time. This is why it's important when you're not really doing this, yo, right? Stay away from pseudos. Pseudos will mess up the whole conversation. One, they don't understand evolution and they deny the unrefutable evidence and they make something up with the blim, 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 bloom. They just start making it up. Putting anything together. We stardust. Check out the Morning Bash show. We talked about the stardust. They swear we came. Let me slow this down. I promised I was just going to be my regular cool self. Let me calm this shit down because I got them, coach. Put me in the game. People, pseudos, will claim at high levels that we come from stardust and we're stardust. And then when I try to give them the explanation of why we can make that statement, well, it's called the Big Bang. Oh, no, I don't do no Big Bang. Wait a minute. You just said that we come from stardust. I'm trying to give you the how. How do we get the stardust? I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Stop saying stardust. See how simple it is? If you're saying stardust, then you must be talking about the process that made stardust. Then you're talking about suns. Then you're talking about pop suns, pop stars. They're going pop stars, right? Stars are suns, right? You're talking first generation suns. You're talking about gas. You're talking about dust. You're talking about planetmills. See, these are the things, nebula hypothesis. See what I'm saying? We're talking about the Big Bang. We're talking about nuclear synthesis. We're talking about redshift. We're talking about the cosmic background radiation. If you're not with none of that, that's fine. Go to your local Bible or Quran. That's cool, dog. But don't be all in my face with the incense burners talking about we stardust. You might get cussed out. Here's another one for you. We come from Africa. We the oldest people on planet Earth. Brother Unc. Black power. Charles Darwin. Natural selection. Oh, no. Not that Charles Darwin. No. No. That guy was racist. No. Wait a minute. It was Charles Darwin. That was one of the first people on planet Earth to say that humans, no matter what color they was, came from Africa. So stop saying that we came from Africa if you're not willing to accept the person that let everybody know we came from Africa. And then they get stuck. And then they start calling me all kind of names. That's what they do. Then there's another faction of them. We Africans. We the first. We the original Native Americans. I say the out of Africa theory. Oh, no. Oh, no. That out of Africa theory ain't right. Look, bro, we got markers, genetic markers. Are you saying genetic markers? We can use molecular tests that genes mutate at a constant rate. So you can actually travel back in time because it's a constant rate and end up back in Africa. And then they look stuck. And then they start calling me all kind of names. It always ends like this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank goodness that my friendship with Smash is stronger than the pseudos to try to break us apart. Thank goodness he's a reasonable guy. We might not never agree on that, none of the UNESCO, but he's a reasonable guy. You know why? Because he never needed YouTube to be the starter he is. He was a star before he met me. So he doesn't need none of that. He's just genuine. But everybody else, they use this thing right here to be who they think they is and be fronting to y'all and be scamming, flim, flam, bim, bamming. Yo, they need this. They cannot be live and say, you know what, I was probably got that wrong. Because it would kill a fake armor. The pseudos always dies at the source, ladies and gentlemen. Shigante Diops. Wait a minute. Shigante Diops was dealing with evolution. Yeah, you ain't read his books? Shigante Diops was a scientist. Really? I said, Diops didn't win at UNESCO. He did when he said Egyptians was black. Negroids, black. When you're talking about the black hypothesis, what's that? So we're going to get into the black hypothesis, dog. We're going to see. We're going to talk about UNESCO. We're going to see the statements that they made. Let me get the link here. Let me get my peoples in here, man. Get the link, man. We doing our thing, yo. You see how this go, yo. It always go like this. Like, I don't know why. They just keep trying me, yo. I'm an intellectual gunfighter. Billy the Black Kid. Bet you I make you famous. Come on, man. I'm not talking about stuff that I have not already worked out amongst the experts. I'm not engaging into a conversation where I can just get beat. For what? It's already enough material that has been verified that I don't got to do none of that. I just stick to the stuff I understand. Right? I don't need wiggle room. I don't need no help. I never need no help. I don't mind being wrong. That means I learned something. Scientists aren't even mad when they're wrong. That means it's a moment of learning, ladies and gentlemen. And that shit right there is counterintuitive. That's all I'm saying. So it always goes like this. Oh, man. What are you talking about? Naturopathic. I'm Dr. Ali. You just said you didn't mess with doctors. So why the need to mention being a doctor? This is the walking contradiction that's all around us, yo. All y'all got to do is do this a little bit. Just listen. Listen. So he's a doctor, but everything that's a doctor, he go against it. So how the hell can you be a doctor? Dulcinea, you hear all the time, I got the science. I've got the science. We talking about science. You disagree with it. You're saying intelligent design. The intelligent design has nothing to do with science. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Dulcinea claims to understand what a scientific theory is. And when you tell us, you're like, yeah, we don't agree with that. Scientists agree with scientific theories. Last time I checked. Not unless they have another theory. Counterintuitive. Theories just don't disappear, y'all. Like the law of gravity and like, let me see. Einstein, theory of relativity. Yeah. Newton was wrong. Yeah, the Einstein. Wait a minute. The scientific literature says that the theory of relativity fits safely inside of Newtonian physics. It just explains more. So laws and theories just don't go away. Even when another one comes, it's better. It just explains everything that explained, and it adds to it. But this is counterintuitive. Y'all so used to something coming in and knocking something else out that when we give you a counterintuitive statement like that y'all don't get it. Y'all so used to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is best, 2 is second, is third, and this is the best. Y'all think a law is higher than a theory, and the theory is higher than the law. That's not even true. It's counterintuitive. And I can't make you see this. I can't force you to see it. I can't make you see it. Oh, God is natural. No, God is actually supernatural. It's outside of the realm of science. So I don't mind. You can have that. It's supernatural. Yeah, yo, but wait a minute, bro. It's outside of the tools of science. It's not. We natural people. But then why talk about the supernatural? I'm actually talking about the natural. No, you're not. Now you're talking about vaccines. I'm talking about vaccines. Vaccines is not natural. You get sick when you take a vaccine. Counterintuitive. Whenever you get a virus, you get sick, don't you? Then you look like this. Huh? Yeah, a vaccine is actually more natural than you taking herbs. What are you talking about? It's counterintuitive. Because the only thing a vaccine does is actually give your immune system the answers to the test. That's it. And when your immune system get the answer to the test, you get sick. What are you talking about? Don't you get sick when you get a real virus? Yeah. Well, you're going to get sick when you get a vaccine. Maybe. Because it's actually working. The fact that you got sick means it's working. We don't understand nothing you saying. You're out of your mind. You're crazy. No, I'm not as crazy as people who think they can stir at the sun. I'm not as crazy as people that think that you can light a damn incense and take some rocks and got some power to it. Am I? I'm simply saying that the way your immune system works is you will run across a pathogen, right? You will get sick while your body tries to figure out the code, right? And if the shit don't kill you, you will have the answers to the test after you get sick. Whether it's a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, or 3 days, whatever it is, if you don't die, now you'll have some type of immunity from it. A vaccine does the same thing. It just lessens the goddamn blow. It stimulates your immune system. It gives it the code. Your body actually thinks it's a real pathogen. And it starts to try to figure out the code, but in figuring out the code, you're going to have fever. You're going to have different things. Because that's what the immune system does. Your immune system works every day. Some days you're just not feeling, you might not be sick completely, but you're not feeling too good. Yeah, that's your immune system working, y'all. That's how it works. So a vaccine is really natural, whereas though a goddamn leaf in chicken bark chicken, right, ain't doing nothing for your damn immune system. That's some wild shit. Excuse my language. So my conversation never was for regular people. My conversation always for above average people. Because it takes above average person to understand what I just said without calling me wild and crazy. I ain't looked in the chat yet. It's going to be somebody in there talking crazy. So my conversation ain't for the average. My conversation is for the above average. My conversation ain't for those who believe in the supernatural. My conversation for those who's comfortable with the natural. So if you try to take the supernatural to understand the natural, that shit really unnatural. I'm going to say it real slow. If you try to take the supernatural to understand the natural, that shit is unnatural. Humans invented religion and spirituality. I never separate religion and spirituality. It's the same damn thing. You just try to get slick when you use the word spirituality or non-denomination. You're just trying to be slick, but it's still religion. Humans created religion and spirituality, and humans created science. Spirituality and religion explains the natural world. Science explains the natural world. You don't get to the natural world till after you die. That's what the religious say. We live in the natural world. Last time I checked. But yeah, we ready to get it cooking, yo. We cooking with hot grease, yo. We're going to be real calm and cool with this. Smash Rock Wells, I see you, yo. Smash Rock. Wellingtons. That shit's slick as a motherfucker, yo. That's some slick shit right there, yo. I'm gonna give you that, yo. I'm gonna definitely give you that. That was wild. That was a funny conversation. Smash, say, hey, does God use the internet? Smash Rock Wellington said, does God use, he asked JJ 500. He said, yo, does God use the internet? It's 2023, yo. If you God, yo, you better be using the internet to contact the people, yo. That shit was funny right there, yo. Crazy, yo. Where you at, Juju? Come on, Juju. Where you at? I know you got that link. That's funny. We about to get into it, man. Oh, man. Boy, that's funny, yo. I'm not all over no damn place, Michael. Come on, bro. I'm never all over the place, bro. I'm giving you concepts as counterintuitive. I'm warming it up, yo. We chilling. I gotta do something because we come to doing what we doing, yo. People, it get real murky, right? But I tell you what, yo, what we do know is that UNESCO is actually fighting for the rights of humanity. That we do know that, right? And we understand this because they put together statements, yo. I don't listen. I ain't listen to you, Smash Rock Wellington, right now. I don't listen to you. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna get you out the game real quick, though. That's what we're gonna do. Get him out the game. Get him out the game. So the material we're gonna be using today is we're gonna use UNESCO. All right. I think this morning I kind of gave you the foundation what UNESCO was. All right. What they stood for and how it was actually a scientific conference, actually. So let's just start off where we all should have started off at is right here. All right. Kind of give a precursor to what they was actually trying to accomplish. So we had Pseudo Asar, not to be confused with Asar Hotep. I don't even know the dude's whole name. Right? He was making wild statements about how racist UNESCO was and how the conference was trying to go against black people. That can't be nowhere near the truth. Right? Because in 1964, right, we're going to go back to in the 50s, go back all the way back to in the 30s, where they was trying to put the shit together, and it was always for human rights across the board. So in 1964, this is prior to the conference they had, UNESCO launched an elaboration of the General History of Africa, GHA, with a view to remedy. So they was trying to remedy things. What was they trying to remedy? They better not be trying to remedy ignorance. They was trying to remedy the general ignorance of Africa's history. So everything that come from here, talking about the general history of Africa, they trying to remedy the misinformation, y'all. So they would not be doing what Pseudo Asar said. Hey, Juju, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Take over real quick. I'm on an important phone call. You can see the document right here, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. All right, go ahead. 1 sec. Go ahead. Give me a sec.
Got it. So, Bobby left off at UNESCO, and he was explaining what their purpose was. And the purpose was they really wanted to eliminate this concept, pseudoscientific concept of race altogether. They also were looking to give Africans and African scientists alike to be heard. So I'm just going to read a few things for you so the audience can have a better understanding of the purpose of UNESCO. And it says in 1964, UNESCO launched the elaboration of the General History of Africa.
Hey, Juju, can you hear me?
GHA, with the view to remedy the general ignorance on Africa's history. The challenge consisted of reconstructing Africa's history, freeing it from racial prejudice, ensuring from slave trade and colonization, and promoting an African perspective. UNESCO therefore called upon the then utmost African and non-African experts. These experts represented 35 years of cooperation between more than 230 historians and other specialists, and was overseen by an international scientific committee, which comprised of 2/3 of Africans. So in essence, that there would tell you that UNESCO was not racist at all. The General History of Africa is a pioneering corpus, unparalleled in its ambition to cover the history of the entire African continent since the appearance of human begins to contemporary challenges faced by Africans and their diasporas in the world. It is a history that no longer leaves the pre-colonial period in the shadows, and that deeply integrates the destiny of Africa into that of humanity by highlighting its religions with the other continents and the contribution of African cultures to the general progress of humanity. The complete collection is published in 8 volumes. All volumes are richly illustrated with maps, charts, figures, and diagrams, and a selection of black and white photographs. The texts, for the most part, are fully annotated, and there is an extensive biography and index. So, just by that, this tells you that UNESCO was nowhere near being racist. In actuality, it was quite the opposite. So instead of excluding African scientists, historians, and contributions, they were looking to include it and also make the world aware of Africa and its contributions to culture and general progress of humanity. Also, what's definitely contradictory to the statements made that UNESCO is racist is that in volume 2, the first chapter is written by Sheikh Diop. So, I mean, make it make sense. Bobby Banger will be right back, but those are some of the important parts of what UNESCO is. And if I may, unfortunately, I don't have the controls, but I can't pull it up for you. But I was going to read you a couple more things on UNESCO.
I can pull it up for you. Juju, just keep handling. I can pull it up. Just
Declaration of
the
Declaration of Race and Racial Prejudice. So the Declaration of Race and Racial Prejudice was actually doing the conference, comes from the conference, and that was in Paris, France this was in 1978. And I'm going to read this for you. So the General Conference of the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, which is UNESCO, the acronym for, meeting at Paris at its 20th season from 24th October to the 28th of November 1978. Whereas it is stated in the preamble to the Constitution of UNESCO, adopted on the 16th of November 1945, that the great and terrible war which has ended was a war made possible by the denial of the democratic principles of the dignity, equality, and mutual respect of men, and by the propagation in their place through ignorance and prejudice of the doctrine of inequality of men and races. And whereas, according to Article 1 of said Constitution, the purpose of UNESCO is to contribute to peace and security by promoting collaboration among the nations through education, science, and culture in order to further universal respect for justice, for the rule of law, and for the human rights and fundamental freedoms, which are affirmed for the peoples of the world with distinction of race, sex, language, or religion by the Charter of the United Nations. So to give a further perspective on UNESCO, mind you, the first conference was in 1945. And if people are, familiar in history, that was right at the end of World War II, where Hitler really did a number. And he did this based on racial prejudice and this pseudoscientific categorization that certain people were lesser because of certain quote unquote racial qualities or race themselves. So this is all just to further imply the fact that UNESCO was no way in shape or form racist. And the fact that it started in 1945 is definitely a major, major, major thing. So there you have it. That is the whole goal of UNESCO.
Oh,
And
you weren't even sharing the screen. I told you go ahead and share the screen. You can,
share my screen. I thought you was
couldn't
going to
share
bring
your
it for me.
screen. You can do it.
Oh, my bad. Yes, I can do it. Give me just a moment, folks. Let me get back to share my screen. My apologies.
American Dream, where your email at, yo? You don't got no email?
Oh, Lord. Also, this shows you.
Because that's what you was reading, right?
I was reading the Declaration of Race and Racial Prejudice.
Okay. All right. That's not the document. What document do we got with the what we got? Hold on.
You got the UNESCO statements on race.
Yeah, that we don't want that one. We actually want the race question. Go to that one.
UNESCO statements on race.
Nope. It's called it's a PDF. Remember I sent it? It's the race question.
The PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I do. Would you like me to share that one?
I can share it, make it easy. Or you want to share it so you can see it?
I can see it either way. You can go ahead and share it. Just let me know when they can see it.
All right.
But another thing I wanted to point out to the audience is that one of the first things that was mentioned in the preamble was before culture and anything else that they really wanted to get into was science. So they were big on science. And this is why we are big on the
science.
Science.
It helped. It helped kill the whole race question.
Help kills the whole race question, and it helps with the confusion.
Right. Can't run around there.
Particularly the confusion we have about ancient civilizations, ancient cultures. More importantly, the ancient Egyptians. So the race question, you have it up.
Hold
For
on
me?
one second, Juju. Hey, they go to email pseudokillers@gmail.com. All right, go ahead. So we at the document, and I'm telling you, man, science is a powerful tool, right? So when Pseudo Asar, not to be confused with Asar Hotep, the great Asar Hotep, this dude at the top of his lungs on Smash Rockwell show start talking about they was racist. They made the conference to go against the African. How? The whole conference was to glorify the African. When I'm talking about glorify, I'm talking about African scholars. That's what happened. The general history of Africa, right? They made one third of the scientific community was Africans, right? And as you read that statement, the statement was clearly saying they wanted to remedy the ignorance to African history, and they wanted Africans to tell the damn story.
Facts.
Okay, so remember when we read information that says that the majority of the people didn't agree with Diop's, right? That means a lot of them was Africans.
Facts.
But also remember that science is counterintuitive, that's okay. The fact that Diop's got in the ring and represented itself at a high level is what really counts in science. Not if you write all the time. There was portions of the argument that he was absolutely right. They tried to say that the Egyptian language had Semitic something. They was like, no, Diop was right about that. So I don't know what to say. I know what the pseudo is. They only see what they want to see, right? Because they're dealing with subjective truth. And the subjective truth to them, with all their biases, is clear. The damn Egyptians is Negro or black. No matter what you say, no matter what science says, just because UNESCO is saying it. See, Pseudo Asar knew. He knew that it was stuff in that document, and he wasn't forthcoming to smash. He knew it. That's why he was trying to say, that's why they was racist. Well, why would you say they was racist if Diop's actually won that conversation, Juju?
Right.
Why would you have to say it?
But he actually read out of UNESCO also.
Yeah, but he know what he was reading. He was reading Banger and them. He know that. He was reading the supporting documents that Diop's and them and a few other people would agree. He's reading that, but it's a whole conference.
Right. Exactly. So that volume piece is going to have all those words.
Read that. My damn dog ball game.
Go get Killer. So UNESCO and its program offers the race question. And it reads, the importance which the problem of race has acquired in the modern world scarcely needs to be pointed out. Mankind will not soon forget the injustices and crimes which give such tragic overtones to the word race. It was inevitable that UNESCO should take a position in a controversy so closely linked not only with its goals, but also with its very nature. For, like war, the problem of race, which directly affects millions of human lives and causes countless conflicts, has its roots in the minds of men. The preamble of UNESCO's constitution adopted in 1945 specifically named racism as one of the social evils. I'll repeat. The preamble of the UNESCO Constitution specifically named racism as one of the social evils which the new organization was called upon to combat. I mean, I don't need to read any further, but there you have it, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the purpose of UNESCO. So, and also to remind folks, if you're interested in getting some of UNESCO's works, I know it was spoken on Smash, but they are releasing new publications at the end of this year. So please look out for that.
What happened? What'd you say? What I missed?
I was just talking about UNESCO releasing their new publications later this year.
Man, Asar in my car fake, yo, shut up. We want to talk to you, yo, because you're a dishonorable human being when it comes to this information. You're a subjective person and won't tell people you're being subjective. Your bias doesn't allow you to see the truth. You don't understand science, not at all. You make it seem to be a bad thing because Diop didn't get that off. Like, okay, he was a scientist. So what he brought melanin doses test. You ain't never looked up nowhere and seen that the melanin doses test was some accurate shit to tell what race a person was or how much African they was. Man, that shit was pseudo. Now, I don't know about it being pseudo, but it definitely wasn't something that they was like, the what? Yo, he shocked them. Yo, you man, come on, yo. He brought a lot of stuff that they just wasn't even ready for, yo. That don't mean the stuff he brought was there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that don't mean that. Y'all think it mean that, yo. Come on, yo. Like, that ain't what we doing, yo. Like, you get the conference, right? Then you get publications after the day. They wrote a whole 9-volume set, one dealing with the UNESCO thing. And all the arguments is right there in book 2. All of them. All of them. All right, they right there. We don't got to run. But where you at right here in this documentation, though? Because this is important. We building a foundation on why Diop would have never got that off. It's a reason why.
I pretty much just stopped when it gave the preamble of the Constitution and spoke on
the Constitution. Hold on. What is the Constitution that they were standing behind?
Why is it not working? I pretty much spoke on its goals, and that's where I stopped at.
What was its goals?
My document is to combat this notion of race, which lives in the minds of men.
You mean like the black race, the white race, the green race, the purple race? What you mean?
Exactly.
You mean like that you could actually define a people with the culture and the language and all that and think you can say, well, that's white people. That's nah. So we sitting here thinking that a scientific conference after Charles Darwin, after they make a statement. All right, let's get to the statements that they made real quick here. Because we want to see why Diop wouldn't have got that off. It's going to get rejected at the end. They heard them out. What they didn't do is they didn't hear out when they were saying the difference with some white black people. Like, yo, that's straight nonsense. We ain't even going to play that game. Yeah, out of hand, they threw that out of there. Right? But the black hypothesis, yeah, I'm saying it like, go ahead. Okay? Go ahead. In the spirit of the games, go ahead. We're listening. No way they was going to actually prove that it was a black race that started Egypt. But how? When they just realized when they were saying it wasn't no races. So how now it's going to be a black race that started Egypt? They was looking at the diversity of skulls. There was never, I keep saying this, man, there was never a time, right, when the anthropologists said that there wasn't what they considered to be Negro skulls. So we don't even got that ain't even up for debate. Nowhere. They always said that there was a morphological type of skull that at that time they considered to be black, right? That was there. There was always different types of skulls there. That's why we can read the document. They talked about Cro-Magnon. The shit they didn't know, they said it was Cro-Magnon, right? They were saying it was Negro. There's some other skulls and all that. So basically, in the contest, they already knew that it never was 1-0. That they did know. They understood it was never 1-0. And a saw nigga, you know that. You know that it was already information based off of Diop's book. Diop's book tell you that he used anthropologists. They all said, right, that there was always different groups there. So watch this. On this point alone, anybody saying that the Nile Valley Africans that made Egypt was Negro from its inception all the way up to the Persian period would have been wrong. Really, this whole thing is over with right now. I'm going to say it slow for y'all. The racist, wild people said it was always Negroes in Egypt. The racist dudes. The racist anthropologists said, yeah. White boys, they all said it. They start giving percentages of Negroes in there. That's about 33%, maybe 27%, 28%. How do we know? Because Diop's book says it. Like, y'all niggas, I've been reading this for 15 years. You dealing with the wrong dude. Wrong dude. Find somebody else. I'm never the mark. I'm never the mark. Come on, man. It's right here. Chapter 7. What is it? Chapter 6? It's chapter 6. Let's see. Or 7. All right. Look, the Egyptian race seen and treated by anthropologists. Chapter 6. Look. Here you go. It's right here. And look, that's how we know that we got pseudos amongst us, yo. Then they misrepresent the data. First of all, they don't even know what the black hypothesis was to know whether he won or lost or not. Because I'm going to show you what the black hypothesis was. Then watch everybody start stumbling and stammering and act like, oh, I ain't right. Look, Juju. Here you go. We can come to Randall McLeaver. Okay. Negroid skulls, whose facial index is lower than 54, nasal index above 50. Okay, right here. It say Negroids would be 24% amongst, it say 24 men and 19% amongst women. It say in the later pre-dynastic epoch, 25% and 28% respectively. Come on, yo. It's in Diop's book, y'all. This is an anthropologist, white boys. Okay, let's come to the next white boy. He says, Flinkenberger continued the anthropological study of the Egyptian population in the recent work based on 1,787 male skulls dating from the early pre-dynastic to the present. He said he distinguished 4 principal groups. He said that the distribution of the pre-dynastic skulls amongst those 4 groups was reported as following. Negroids, told you, look, Negroids, 36%. Mediterranean, 33%. Cro-Magnon, 11%. It say, and 20% individuals belonging to none of these 3 categories, but related either to the Cro-Magnon type AC or the Negro type BC. The proportion of the Negroes is clearly higher than that of Thomas and Randall McClever, which Keith nevertheless found excessive. Come on, yo. It's all here, man. Since the pseudo dudes ain't really reading the book, right? So I just want you to know that the conference already knew that. Because they talk about it in the conference. So anybody trying to say they was all Negroes based off of available anthropology, they wasn't going to get that off. And I ain't even talking about the racial aspect of it. I'm just saying the empirical scientific aspects of it that they was trying to talk about. So you couldn't come with a black hypothesis saying something different than that because they're looking at the skulls. As a matter of fact, the racist people, the real racist people, where the hell is that at? We talking about Morton and them dudes. Where the hell? Come on now. Morton and them. Morton and them, on the other hand, hold on. Damn. Morton came in here and got his book. Boy, bring it back, Morton. Bring it back. Nah. Damn. No.
Bring it back.
That's my man right there. Not this one. Nah. This is George Robinson Glidden, Knox, Samuel, George, and Morton and them. All right, here goes a smaller version. Look, yo, listen. Somebody this morning said that nigga can't read. Hey, Juju, look how little these look at this book. Look how little these words is. Nah, that nigga can't read this.
Shoot.
I was saying this morning like this.
About to get a headache.
Yeah, that nigga can't read this. Yeah, yo, and he got a whole chapter on the Negroids. Right? Look. Y'all ain't even seen these books. Y'all ain't even. It's a reproduction book. Y'all ain't even looking at this work, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't got nothing else better to do but to come back like a true king. Look, come on, yo. Like this, the guy that took all the cranial. It's called Cranioegyptos. I told you, Rods and them, they was finding grave sites full of Negroes. They were like they Negroes. They say Negroes is every household, and the way they got them out of there, they say, well, basically they were slaves. Because where we from, right? France and then the British, they slaves in our country. So these people that we consider to be Negroes, obviously they slaves too. Or they was colonized by the Egyptians. That was the running theme. So no one's trying to get away from that. And trust me, the conference, they was all aware of all that. So now where we at, Juice? I want to stay on course. I want to stay the course. Let me check this email real quick. All right. We're going to stay the course. Man, hit that Cash App too, man. Hey, appreciate you, Joe. That's the first Cash App of the evening, man. We really appreciate that, man.
Do you want to go to UNESCO statements on race?
Yeah, let's get there. Lord, touch them up. So we touch them up with that. We ain't want to get too much deep into reading yet, right?
Nah.
Twins just hit me up. Love them niggas.
And I really need you to go over how a scientific conference works for those who don't know or may be a bit confused, because there seems to be a bit of confusion.
Smash it. The spirit, the spirit of Diop don't fuck with y'all no more. Diop was actually a scientist, yo. He would absolutely agree to proper critique. He wouldn't even be mad, yo. And pseudos, like a saw pseudo, not to be confused with the great Hotep, right? Yeah. He the one mad.
I think you need to repeat that quote or a statement that was made by Diop about those who come after him and correcting the work put forth.
Yeah, I don't got that statement. That's something Asylum always have. I don't know where that's at. You got it?
No.
Right, I don't got that. Right, but I know he was a damn scientist, and that's the protocol for a scientist. How about that? You a wild dude. You're not a scientist then if you can't get corrected on your data that you put out.
Okay, so I'm going to start with and yes, this is wiki for you all on UNESCO, but also there are little numbers here. Are you sharing my screen? Are you sharing?
No, you didn't put it up yet.
Okay. Okay, give me just a minute. Let me get this so we can help people
email that. Let me see
on how to use wiki.
See that link to
statements on race. Okay, it is up for you to share, Bobby.
Okay, all right. The part right there.
So just to explain for people.
1951, statement declared.
Yeah.
Right there.
I was also going to say, so when we're reading through Wiki, if you just push on these tabs, they give you all the sources you need where these statements are extracted from. So it says a 1951 statement declared that Homo sapiens is one species. The authors of the 1951 statement agreed to reserve race as the word to be used for groups of mankind possessing well-developed and primarily heritable physical differences from other groups. The concept of race is unanimously regarded by anthropologists as a classificatory device providing a zoological frame within which the various groups of mankind may be arranged and by means of which studies of evolutionary processes can be facilitated.
All right, so hold on. They talking about evolutionary processes. Charles Darwin.
Mm-hmm.
So don't talk about Diops and the Cairo Symposium because they was dealing with the damn evolution, because that's what the daggone statement, they made the statement based off the real scientific work, not the pseudo scientific racism. They was overthrowing all that, right? They was moving slow towards where they needed to be. Go ahead.
In its anthropological sense, the word race should be reserved for groups of mankind possessing well-developed and primarily heritable physical differences from other groups. These differences have been caused in part by partial isolation, preventing intermingling, geography, an important explanation for the major races, often cultural for the minor races. National, religious, geographical, linguistic, and cultural groups do not necessarily coincide with racial groups. The statement declared there's no evidence for the existence of so-called pure races and no biological justification for prohibiting intermarriage between persons of different races. And that was a statement made in UNESCO in 1969. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. I sent that links out. I sent you a smash. Okay, so watch this. All right, where we at? 1950. That was 1955.
1959.
That was you got one in 1951, 1952. You read this already?
That was 1969 that I just read.
Did you
I
read
read
this
the
National Religion
Declaration on
Geographic?
Race.
The highlighted, you read that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
let's
what we just
transform. Let's go
read.
to Hitler. Let's go to real quick. What they was actually fighting against, right?
That was the Declaration, right?
Hold on, right there where you at. Yeah, I think it should be on that one, right? Yeah, where you at? Contents. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right underneath the contents. You see that?
Hold on.
Contents. Introduction into the states. Let me make sure.
At the very top, right?
No, I think I'm reading from. Hold on, I'm actually reading from the UNESCO statements on race. You there, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go down to contents. Right up the top, you see 1950, right? And go down right underneath 1950 is going to be contents. See it?
So go down or go back up? Oh, yeah, I see.
Towards the bottom.
Okay, Declaration on Race and Racial Prejudice. Is that
No, go up.
What was
okay?
this?
Right here, you right there, right? Let me see. I think that's it. Stop. Don't move. Hold on.
You talking about the race concept, 1952?
No, where you at? You at UNESCO statements on race, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go up. Go all right. Go all the way back up to 1950.
Oh,
go up.
got
Yeah,
it.
go up. Yeah, go up. Yeah, right here. Nah. Go down. UNESCO, right? Nah, the other way. What is that? Down? Right
you
there.
said go to 1950 right here.
Go underneath that. No, go down. Scroll down. Just keep going. Contents. See contents?
Yes.
Keep going. Right here, you see UNESCO took
Right
up
here?
again.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead, read 1948. Go ahead.
UNESCO took up again.
No, go up 1948. Up.
Oh,
yeah,
at
right here. Yeah,
right here?
1948 UN. Go ahead.
1948 UN Social and Economic Council resolution called upon UNESCO to consider the timelessness of proposing and recommending the general adoption of a program of dissemination of scientific facts designed to bring about the disappearance of that which commonly called race prejudice.
So these people's at the forefront of this now. Nobody else is doing this on planet Earth. I'm just gonna let you know this. So the pseudos saying that they was fighting against the Egyptians being Africa, whatever the hell you think, you're lying right in front of our face. So we're not going to put that on these people. Keep going though, Juju.
In 1949, the materials, in 1949, the General Conference of UNESCO adopted 3 resolutions which committed it to study and collect scientific materials concerning questions of race, to give wide diffusion to the scientific material collected, and to prepare an education campaign based on this information. Furthermore, in doing this, UNESCO took up again, after a lapse of 15 years, a project which the International Institute for Intellectual Cooperation has wished to carry through, but which it had to abandon in deference to the appeasement policy of the pre-war period. So the race question had become one of the pivots of Nazi ideology and policy. Mazarki and
So the
Bennett.
race question. See? Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Negroid. Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Negroid, Oceania, Native American. Scientific racism at all-time high. Thing was used, right, in part for Adolf Hitler and the boys. So now y'all want us to go backwards because y'all fighting for the Egyptians to be black. Y'all want to go back down that road. Yeah, that's what we got to do. Black is a political statement specifically for African Americans.
In modern times,
in modern times. Like, that's something we say. Like, that's my statement. When I say it through because it's my political statement, yo, because when I say I'm black and I'm proud, man, yo, say that's a damn American. That's a black American right there. You know what I'm saying? He loving, yeah, I'm saying black power. Right? How they fought. Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? All of them, Farrakhan, the predating Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, all that. They was fighting, standing up. In America now, we talking about America. And the fight and the struggle was so serious that the rest of the world recognized it because they culminated with Martin Luther King, yo, who took a different approach. Start showing how wild they was. You just the police setting loose German shepherds. I was born in 1967. They killed the man in 1968. We talking about bathrooms with white. Y'all don't even know about bathrooms. What the hell? You go in the bathroom right now, yo, with a white sign, white only, yo, you gonna beat somebody up right now. But back then, you bet not do it. You bet not go in there. Police department. You talking about police brutality. They was letting loose German shepherds on people that was peacefully marching. What you talking about? The fire department. They there supposed to help you in case you're in trouble. They got them big fire hoses. You ever been hit by a fire hose? It's going to knock you down the damn street. Tons of pressure. Going to split your skin open. This is what they not really telling you. Fire department, police department, wild out of order. The governors, you couldn't vote. All that. You could vote, nigga, but you could go get caught out there trying to vote. Trying to kill you. Burnt down a whole Tulsa. Burnt it down because somebody said they got raped. They ain't go check nothing. Burned it all down. Dropped bombs on it. Yeah, right. What the hell's going on? We can't keep acting like we still in that state. We can't keep acting like black people in America didn't fight to the point where we changed the shit. Y'all just mad because y'all spoiled at about this point. Then you mad at the youngins that decide to go outside in the middle of a damn pandemic. Shout out to Kyle. Went out there and made sure me and my family was protected. That's why I fucked with Kyle, because it was real life situation that the dude was there. He had the whole plan mapped out on where we should go, where we should be at, right? Had his real nestled, real safe. And my damn sons and daughters say, no, we want to jump in the middle. I was like, oh, no. Kyle was like, let's go. Because that's all Kyle really wanted to do anyway was jump in the middle of that shit. And he was right in the middle of it. And I'm right there like, damn. Got me in the middle of all that. But it was the youngins. Yo, it was my little son. It was my little nephew, right? They about 12, 13. It was my daughter. She's 17. It was my oldest daughter, right? She 22. They say, we going, nigga. What you gonna do? I'm like, I'm going. It was them that inspired the world again. That Black Lives Matter. Yeah, yo, we've been fighting, yo. We ain't chumps over here, yo. We different, yo. Yo, we different over here, yo. We different over here, yo. And I'm trying to tell people we different over here. We changed the way the world seen black people. We changed the way the world seen African people. We came with all types of ideology, Pan-Africanness. What's up with that? Say, cool, what's up? What's up? Right. We don't act like we ain't who we is. Yeah, we exactly who we supposed to be. Yeah, we want to use the bathroom we want to use. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use intelligence. Yeah, we're going to do that. AJ Gaskin. He was like, I ain't marching. But when y'all go to jail, I'm going to go ahead and pay y'all way out. Birmingham, AJ Gaskin, the great Titan. I ain't marching. He said, I don't do no marching.
Facts.
He said, I sit down and I negotiate with white people. See, there's a story where he had this millions of dollars in the bank, and they had them white only bathroom signs. He walked in the bank and say, I need them out of here by the morning.
And they moved them.
And them signs was gone in the morning. AJ Gaskins, one of the first black-owned insurance companies, one of the first millionaires black. AJ Gaskins. Yeah. So, dog, we've been getting it in during the civil rights, pre-civil rights. So we ain't gonna come on this side and act like that we can't fight and that, you know what I'm saying, that we don't got things we can take advantage of. I'm not allowing the pseudo to take us back, Juju. I'm not going back, yo. We not afraid, yo. We steps up, yo. We do what we need to do. Not letting them take me back to a period when I'm afraid that white people gonna poison me some kind of way. Really? I don't take that. They're gonna kill you. Come on, yo. So where we at, yo? So we can get right to this, because we about to really get into the program right now. So we didn't prove that, right? We got that. So we got the basis of what UNESCO really was, what it was and what it wasn't. So no, they're at the forefront of actually promoting equality for black people, yo, in African history. What's up, American Dream? You get my point I'm making right now, right? You see the case I'm building, right?
I gotta tell you, man, I'm half listening. I gotta take my children to a basketball game, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit for me to get them dropped off, and
right,
and then I can really pay attention to what's happening. But I'm here. I'll be on in a little bit.
What did you need to read though? I know you're going. What did you? What was?
I'm gonna read from the source that Asar put up.
Okay, all right.
That same exact book. Okay, I have it. I just have to share my screen. I don't know if I can share my screen on Streamlabs. Like I'm looking and I don't see where I have the capacity to share my screen. But you know, if anyone has that book, if I can't share my screen, but if anyone does have that book,
the PDF of the book. You're talking about the blue one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I could just tell you which page to go to, and we can just look at a couple of things. But I'm gonna need like a half an hour to drop my children off.
All right, go ahead.
At this basketball game.
All right, go ahead, man.
Yes, sir. Respect. But I'm half listening.
Okay, all right. I got
respect.
You. All right. Okay, so now, Juju, let's deal with Hitler real quick.
Okay,
let's see what was going on with Hitler. Let's see if any Nazi racial theories. You got that, or I ain't get that to you.
You did not give that to me.
All right, hold on. Let me get that out. Hold on. I got it right here.
Or you can just share your screen and
I do. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this. Can you see it?
Give me just a minute. Yes, I can see it.
All right, let's go. Let's see about the Nazi Party. Let's go.
The Nazi Party adopted and developed several pseudoscientific racial classifications.
Negroid is a pseudoscientific racial classification.
As part
Caucasoid, all that. All right. Just for the record, while we throwing around terms. Go ahead.
As part of its ideology, Nazism, in order to justify the genocide of groups of people which it deemed racially inferior, the Nazis considered the putative Aryan race a superior master race. And they considered Black people, mixed race people, Slavs, Roma, Jews, and other ethnicities racially inferior subhumans, whose members were only suitable for slave labor and extermination. These beliefs stem from a mixture of 19th century anthropology, scientific racism, and anti-Semitism. The term Aryan belongs in general to the disclosures of Volk. The people as a lineage group share a territory, language, and culture.
Okay. So yeah, they was doing a little thing here, making master races, superior races. They was doing all the flim flam bim boom. They was doing a hierarchy of human race. The same thing people do right now. They still doing it. Mediterranean, which is Darkic, Alpine,
Denaric.
Celtic races.
Yeah.
Denaric. Yeah, they was doing all that. Nordic. They was doing all that, yo. So when you come right back and end up doing the same thing, yo, you looking real shady there, yo. Yeah, when you can't understand the conversation, man, that you're trying to practice racial hierarchy, yo, you don't, I'm saying, what make you eat any better, yo? You might not have the history behind all that, yo, but just your conversation is low level at that point. It's the reason why they didn't say the Egyptians was black. It's the reason why they didn't say the Egyptians was white. It was a reason why. Because it would go against their what?
The science.
Not only the science, they daggone, what's it called? They made their
constitution.
Their constitution of what they was doing. So that alone, yo, Diop never was gonna get that off. So now he wasn't gonna get it off because they always seen the different skulls, and it's in the daggone document. It clearly says that they didn't understand how he was thinking. It was just one thing. So now let's come to the portion of the presentation when we get into what Diop's actually said. That way we don't got to play in between, act like that ain't what it was. All that. That ain't what it was. He wasn't trying to say it. He said he didn't say it. He did say it, but he didn't say it. He did say it. He didn't. The hell with that. And we're going to use Wikipedia because the Journal of Nature say you can use Wikipedia. That's why. Not listening to y'all, man. Y'all fight the way you fight. I'm going to fight the way I fight, yo. I'm going to get it clear, right? Because I can go to Diop's book where he lays out his black hypothesis. So let's get here. And I believe that to be we've been reading this for 3 damn years, and everybody act like we ain't been reading it for 3 damn years. Hold on. Saying the same damn thing for 3 years. I ain't changed. Same damn thing. And they come up with a new argument. Now all of a sudden, yeah. Come on, man. Just because the man's argument didn't get accepted, just because the argument got beat up, the argument did get beat up. Don't mean the Diop ain't do a good job. It was certain things that they did get off. Man, hold on. All right, let me see. I want to get you. Hold on. All right. So, first of all, it says, I'm going to come to, it says Afrocentrism. First of all, Diop wasn't that. Why are we talking? He wasn't that. This is the dynastic race theory. And Diop wasn't that. Now, they just like Samantha Kiyata. He's not an Afrocentrist. But Afrocentrists will use bits and pieces of Samantha Kiyata's work. Samantha Kiyata is a geneticist. He's a scientist. Okay? Diop was a scientist. He wasn't an Afrocentric. So in Afrocentrism in the 1950s, when the dynastic race theory was widely accepted by mainstream scholarship, this is important, right? This is important. At this time, remember, they was making statements against race in UNESCO, in the general history of Africa. They were saying, nah, that's wild. Mainstream scholarship was saying, nah, we accepting this. Now it says the Senegalese scholar, Cheikh Diop, was publishing his theory that the ancient Egyptians were black Africans. Simple as that. No in between. I don't want to hear nothing you saying. That's exactly what he was saying. So my question is that what y'all saying? Because that's what Diop was saying. Wasn't saying nothing else different than that. He wasn't saying that they was mixed. He wasn't saying that it was other groups, right? He wasn't saying. He was saying that the Egyptians, from their inception to the Persian period, was black Africans. Simple. Don't give me the halfway cut. Oh, well, that's what he came to the symposium to prove. Now, did he prove that? I'm not playing this wiggle room nonsense. We're not doing that now. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. It's a Diop paid a special attention to the emergence of the dynastic race theory and claimed European scholars supported this theory to avoid having to admit that the ancient Egyptians were black and to characterize them as Semitic or Caucasian. That's exactly what they did. He said other prominent Afrocentrists, including Mark Bennell, later also argued against the dynastic race theory in favor of the black Egyptian model. He said Afrocentrists particularly condemned the alleged dividing of African peoples into racial clusters as being new versions of the dynastic race theory and the Hamitic hypothesis. Then we got David Rowe. He going back to the damn model. But then we got Jabari with the Timahu. He going back to the model because he said the Timahu was Europeans because he said he's listening to Diop's, and Diop say the Timahu was Europeans. But we know that the Libyans had a dynasty, probably I think it was the 24th dynasty or so, or 23rd dynasty, somewhere in there. So you saying it was a European dynasty in Egypt? Why they keep doing it, yo?
It's anachronistic.
Keep playing. That's what Diop said. He was clearly wrong with that. I didn't mean that. He said it. Matter of fact, he put it in his damn book, and I read it this morning. He absolutely said that the Libyans was quote unquote Europeans. He didn't cut his words. That's what he said. And he said it based off of the look of ship. Because he was looking at the picture and he was like, oh. It's right here. Little run back real quick. It's right here. This is where I totally disagree with Smash Rock Wellington.
What is this? The Book of Gates?
The Book of Gates. Right here. That's the Libyans right there.
Seti's,
right here. The Timhu.
Seti the second's tomb.
Right here. Everybody see this loud and clear. Ladies and gentlemen, you got the Nubians right there and the Libyans right there, and Diop said these was Europeans. That's what he said. But they definitely got the slick braids in their hair, the slick cornrows. They cool with the cornrows, and they got the block right there, and they got the fly gear. The Nubians got the fly gear. They all fly right there. They tatted up. Am I yelling?
Just a little.
Let me calm down.
You said you was gonna calm down.
I'm gonna calm down. I'm basically saying that the body ornamentation is African. We got the graves in Khartoum, and it's the body ornamentation that links Khartoum with Nubia, with Upper Egypt. It's this body ornamentation. It's these tattoos, ladies and gentlemen. But they're not the color you want them to be.
Wow.
They're fair-skinned. Now I know why y'all want to make them white. You want to make them white because you're trying to act like that they invaded, that they're not indigenous. I'm here to tell you that these Berbers are indigenous to Africa, North Africa, and their skin falls right where it's supposed to fall. Now we're in trouble now. So no, they not Europeans, what Jabari keeps saying, and y'all letting them blim, 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 boom you. They're not that. Whoever the scholar was that kind of was trying to act like something, no, because I'm letting you know that these guys right there actually had a dynasty in Egypt. So either they white and we really do got white dynasties in Egypt, or y'all just was wrong. Make your damn mind up, because this documentation is not supporting them being white. They're just light-skinned Africans. Knock it off. Y'all play too much, yo. And then you let Jabari get out of it. Oh, yo, get me for a word. Yeah, we get you for the word, bro. Because if you keep saying that these is Europeans or white people, yo, now you're admitting that there's actually a white dynasty in Egypt. The documentation don't say they white nowhere. The documentation say they Libyans. Here you go. Timhu, ladies and gentlemen. Timhu, Libyans. Nehesu, Nubians. Amu, Asiatic. the rich Egyptians. There's no white people on here. Y'all just play too much, yo. Do way too much, man. But do way too much. I mean, what? Hey, Juju, they be doing too much, Juju. I swear.
Way too much.
Don't use Wikipedia. I bet you don't want us to use Wikipedia. Here we go. Now we on the clock. Now we getting started. What is this, Juju? You ready? What's that say?
Yeah. It says the Black Egyptian hypothesis.
Oh,
ain't that's shit can't do joke. Diop.
Let's see what it is, because I don't think y'all actually know what it is. I just want to make sure you know what it is. Right? So when you say he didn't lose in the conversation, right? When you espousing that he won, then you're saying he won because you trying to make the Egyptians black, pseudo saw. Putting emphasizing on that nigga head. So let's all understand what the black hypothesis, Egyptian hypothesis is. Go ahead, Juju. Now let's where the rubber meets the road. Go ahead.
The Black Egyptian hypothesis is the hypothesis that ancient Egypt was a black homogeneous civilization.
Stop. Just stop. Hell with that. We looking at words. I'm giving you no room for breathing. We're not playing this halfway crook game where you can almost out. Go ahead. What did it say?
Homogeneous means all the same.
Mm.
You got to click on it. I don't see the definition, but from my definition, it means
uniform, structure, composition throughout of the same or similar kind of nature. Homogeneous.
Mm-hmm. Homogeneous.
Alike, the same kind, consistent of all parts the same. Whatever, man.
So it's
frustrating.
We're all the same.
It's just frustrating at this point. So Diop and Theophile Banger came to the Cairo symposium with the Black Egyptian hypothesis. And y'all act like they got that off like that, yo. They actually didn't. They actually did not prove that the Black Egyptian hypothesis was valid. They actually didn't prove that the Black Egyptians was a homogeneous civilization. But go ahead.
Correct. You got to put it back on the screen for me.
Okay, my fault.
But that's okay. But I just want to add one thing.
Absolutely.
So just in some of the history and archaeology that we've been studying of ancient Egyptians, that doesn't even support the Black hypothesis, because by the Book of Gates, it shows you that there were many differences, phenotypical differences amongst the ancient Egyptians. So that's why I found the contradiction.
All right, go ahead. Let's go.
So at a UNESCO symposium in 1974, there was a consensus that ancient Egypt was indigenous to Africa. However, Diop's hypothesis that ancient Egypt was a black civilization.
Stop. You running a stop sign. At the what though, yo?
At the UNESCO symposium.
And what? At what time period?
1974.
There was a what?
A consensus.
So do we got to go to what the scientific consensus is? Do we got to do that? Do we got to talk about what the consensus is? Maybe we do. I think we actually do.
Yeah, go to the
because it was some screaming and shouting and cheering. I told you y'all was at the 30-yard line, but you raised the ball up too high. So let me smack it out your hand before I even get deep into it. Let me smack it out your hand. I just took the ball. Now I'm going in the other direction.
You gotta put up the definition. It's not showing.
Consensus, general agreement. So it was a general agreement that they wasn't saying what y'all keep acting like they were saying, pseudo saw. Now we see, yo. Now we see you, pseudo saw. We actually see you, bruh.
Oh, she cute. Where are you at, Bobby Banger? Oh, there you go.
They was shooting. Magi had one. Oh, he had one arrow left, and he shot at the screen, yo. So I got disappeared on him. He got his last arrow on. I mean, he ducked real quick. Had to get out of here, yo. Oh man! All right, where we at? Where we at? We having fun. This was what I said.
There's like consensus. So this happened at the 1974 consensus that ancient Egypt was indigenous to Africa. So, however, Diop's hypothesis that ancient Egypt was a Black civilization was met with numerous objections in 1974, which revealed a disagreement which remained profound even though it was not voiced explicitly. In respect of certain sequences, the criticisms arose out of the line of argument put forward. The majority of the objections...
Ancient Egyptian, that's in the book. That's a UNESCO work.
Ancient Civilizations
of Africa. There's another
Mm-hmm.
source. Ancient Civilizations of Africa. That's the one, page 43 to 46. 43 to 46, ladies and gentlemen. 43 to 46. But go ahead, where you at?
Those are the primary sources for the audience.
Yeah, that's the book. That's the book. That's the publication. That's the general history. That's the one that Diop wrote the daggone
first chapter.
From the first chapter, yo. The general discussion is right here. Let me see. Hold on. Man. Numerous objections was made to the ideas propounded by Professor Diop. Let me see. I don't know why they... It says Professor Diop's theory was rejected in its entirety by one participant. None of the participants explicitly voiced support for the earlier theory concerning a population which was white with dark or even Black pigmentation. Remember, they just say that we ain't gonna do that at all. It say there was no more than a tacit agreement to abandon this older theory. It say numerous objections was made to the ideas propounded by Professor Diop. It says these objections revealed the extent of a disagreement which remained profound, even though it was not voiced explicitly. It says in respects to certain sequences and circumstances arose out of the line of arguments put forward. Let me see. All right.
What's that source you're reading out of, Bobby?
That's the general history of Africa. The one they keep saying it ain't there.
Yeah.
It ain't there. It ain't there. It ain't there while I'm driving down the damn street in the middle of the day. Of course it's not there.
Peace, Ank.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. We showing people what the Black hypothesis was. And early in the game, they already say, yo, that you know what I'm saying, they wasn't with that. They said to tell you what they said. They said that at the symposium 1974, there was a consensus that the ancient Egyptians was indigenous to Africa. That was the damn consensus. Go ahead, though. Where you at, though, Juju? However, Diop's hypothesis of Egyptian was a Black civilization was met with numerous objections. 1974, which revealed a disagreement which remained profound, even though it was not voiced explicitly. In respect to certain sequences, criticisms arose out of the line of argument put forward. Go ahead.
The majority of the objections raised were of methodological nature. So they were basically, concerned with his methodology.
Yeah, they attacked his methods. That's what science do. They attack your method. Yo, how did you arrive with this? That method, wow, it's not there. Your method wouldn't bring you that. They attack the That's what you attack the person's methodology. How did you get that? You took the Bible. What man? They brought the Bible too. So that's another that you shouldn't have did that. Not a scientific conference. That's not gonna work.
So
Hey,
yeah,
Hey, do you mind if I just look at a couple of things because my time is kind of limited.
Let's jump right there. Let me finish it right here, and then we'll
Absolutely.
jump into it.
the methodological nature, which range from the need for reliable statistical data to further research projects in several fields such as archaeology and physical anthropology, which are scientific disciplines, ladies and gentlemen. Before final conclusions on the peopling of Egypt could be made.
That's right there in that book. So they ain't make a final conclusion on that, on them being black. Why couldn't they do that? Because of physical anthropology and archaeology and the data points wasn't there. Now, as we move up towards now, the data points is there. What they did admit, though, that they was indigenous to Africa. That was enough data there for that. But go ahead.
There was also total disagreement from the majority of the scholars in the 1974 conference on the hypothesis that ancient Egypt had been a homogeneous population until Persian times, with several scholars favoring the hypothesis of a mixed population.
Right, because the data points was down. I just read it. How all of that they was. Come on, yo. This is where it was at, yo. Well, this is it. They disagreed with it being homogeneous, yo. Diop said it was. Do we got to fight over that? But I'm gonna stop right here, yo. Where you at? Where did you want to read? Where you at?
Well, the only thing I wanted to point out is that everything y'all are saying is actually in the book that Asar was showing yesterday.
Right.
Like everything y'all are saying is absolutely there. The only thing that I'm not hearing is the fact that there was actually two sides to the debate. There was one side that was saying that the ancient Egyptians were white, even the ones with black skin. There was one side saying they were white, and they were trying to prove that. And Diop and Obenga were on the side saying that the ancient Egyptians were black. And right. And what they found, the findings, if you will, there were certain people who were there who wrote their reports. And the main thing they said that, if anything, the most they could say is that the ancient Egyptians were African. Yep. They're not black, they're not white, they're just African. They did accept some of Obenga and Diop's work, mainly Obenga's, just based on linguistics, and because they were saying that there were similarities between the languages, but that only proved that ancient Egypt was African, not that it was black. Everything about it being black, the race stuff, the work they tried to do with anthropology and craniometry, all of that was rejected. The only thing they accepted was that there were similarities between the African languages and the Egyptian language. But they were like, that should be expected. They're on the African continent. Why wouldn't there be similarities between the languages? But that only proves that, again, that they were just African. But the only thing I wanted to say was that everything, all of that was included in the book that Asar used, and he was being deceptive. He was trying to make Smash think that, Diop's position was upheld and that Diop won, and that, he wasn't beat up. He was beat up on the race stuff. They were not beat up on the linguistic stuff. The linguistic stuff, like if you listen to Smash, he'll say that they found his work to be constructive, but that's the linguistic stuff, because that's the stuff that showed that they were African. So the main thing that came out of it was that they're not white, they're not black, they're African. And that's pretty much what I wanted to show. For me to go and show it is just going to repeat what you and Jolanda have been reading. It's just pretty much the same thing. There was one guy who disagreed with everything Diop said. There was even one point where they said Diop started to become just belligerent and started, being angry, and many of the participants didn't like him for that because he just started to defend himself too hard. When people see that they're losing and they just start getting too. It even says that in the article that Asar put up.
Loud and wrong.
Right. And it even says that in the article.
Right there and read it though. Because they
Bobby, let me ask him a question real quick.
Hot grease, mean hot. What they say mean greasy?
They was being greasy. I want to ask you a
not
question.
that. Now, go ahead. I'm gonna find it. Hold on, I'm
American
gonna find
Dream. So you said that in your readings, they had a consensus that they were indigenous Africans, correct? So during the conference, did it say anything about agreeing with the hypothesis that the Egyptians were dark-skinned Caucasians?
No,
No.
they
They threw
said
that away.
I know they did.
absolutely. They said the whole thing about race, there was no evidence that could support anything saying anything about race. And if they said anything about race, they were like, we need to put away race and look at studying history from a different lens, because race just doesn't do it. There's no value in it.
Facts. So I just said that because I wanted the audience to understand, no matter where it comes from, no matter if we disagree with certain people, I think most people know that me and you usually disagree most of the time, but if the information is factual, it is factual, and that's what you do when you are, thinking in a scientific manner, and when you're using critical and logical thinking. You're not adhering to any of your biases. You're just adhering to the facts. So
Indeed, and the reason I was kind of obliged or felt obligated to look into it, because it's even since they were talking about it while I looked into the book and started looking at it, and the reason I felt obligated to do so is because I don't see the value in race. Y'all know how I talk. I don't see the value in race. So for them to say that at this symposium, scientists saw the value of race and were bigging up Diop for it, I really wanted to look to see, is this stuff really true? But then when you look at it and see what they're really saying, they said nothing of the sort. And I really do believe that Assar was trying to be deceptive.
So do you think that Chicken Diop got beat up on his black hypothesis? Yes or no?
On the black hypothesis, yes. On the idea that the Egyptians were black straight throughout, and that they belong to a black race, he was beat up on that. On the idea that they are African and that their language is similar to African languages, he was not beat up on that. They accepted that from his work, and they felt that that was constructive, because he presented, he didn't just present one thing. He tried to show that they were black using craniometry and using anthropology and then using linguistics. They accepted the linguistic stuff, but they said the linguistics only proved that the Egyptians were African and that there was value in that. But the whole race stuff and being black, they rejected that.
Agreed. So I clearly believe that ancient civilizations did, have their own, means of science or whatnot. But I clearly don't think, and this is from some of the things that I've read, and understand that they didn't use race the way we do. So I think that is a misconception, and I think that it's fallacious to think that they did. Now, did ancient populations have descriptions and identifiers? Of course. But just as African tribes identify with their tribe, that's what I believe, that they identified by their tribes. Some of those tribes may have had phenotypical differences, but I am still in doubt that this racial construct, this race as is today, was used then. I just don't see that, But yes.
Well, I'm tired. I'm tired of this game, God damn it. Let me. Yeah, I know I'll be holding back, right? Let's go to the book. Let's read and see. Let's read and see what it says. Yeah, just the part I really like. Right now I'm at the 50, but I got the ball tucked off. I just took it from them celebrating the pseudos. The ball head saw like this. Give me that. Give me that. Now I'm at the 50. Yep. 45, 30, 35, 25. I'm scoring. I'm safely across the line, and I'm doing like this, and I'm giving my dance. What I tell y'all? I told you. I told you. I thought I told you. Let's read it now. Remember, all the arguments are posted in the General History of Africa, to which Sheikh Anthony Diop wrote the first chapter. Now, Smash Rock, Wellington, Smash Rock Wellington, makes the mistake in thinking just because he wrote the first chapter mean that they had actually accepted it. No, they was allowing him to expound on his scientific ideas, because that's what the conference was actually for, allowing participants to actually put together their ideas. This is what they do. Whether they was right or wrong or not actually used. Like this book right here, this is a scientific conference. And in the book, the publications, you'll actually see, right, different participants, right? I could actually read, but I'm not, right? All through the book, putting in their work. So Diop did the same thing. This is what we're supposed to do. So let's go to it. But I thought it wasn't really in there. But I thought the arguments wasn't there. The arguments really is in there. Here you go. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Man, we fucks with winning around here, man. We ain't never betting on those pseudos. I'm always have mines. I might not have mine in the middle of the day riding down the street, but my memory don't fail me that bad. Oh, what is this, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let's go back. First of all, this is the book, The Origins of Ancient Egypt. Yeah, this is the chapter, but that's a conclusion, dog. See, this ain't a general conclusion. This is a conclusion. This is a conclusion at the Cairo Symposium. See, this is the conclusion, not the general conclusion. You know, with generally speaking, we was kind of talking about that in that particular paper, but here is the conclusion, right? Now watch this. To what? To the chapter the Diop wrote. Now, let's go back to the Wikipedia article, right? Because we start with Wiki and we end in the source that we really want to end in, and that's what we're going to do. But let me find the Wiki article again, just to make sure, right? My celebratory dance is just right, because we like to win. And this way, I ain't got to argue with this shit no more. I'm done with it, yo. I appreciate my friendship too much, yo, to keep arguing. I know the pseudos is in the midst of this, yo. This the issue with me is the damn pseudos. Now, where the hell is the daggone? Hold on. God damn it. God darn it. Darn it. Darn it. I don't want that. I want the... Damn, Gigi, why do I always... Man, how I just keep losing that, though? This is crazy. UNESCO. I don't want the UNESCO statement. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want... Yeah, that's what I want. All right, we back here again, Gigi. We want to make sure, yo. All right. That right here, it say what? UNESCO symposium, that there was consensus that the ancient Egyptian was indigenous to Africa, right? Yes. That's in his work. That's UNESCO work right there, the abridged version. We got that. I'm holding it in my damn hand, right? Then we came down in here, and what they say there was also total disagreement from the majority of the scholars in 1974 conference on the hypothesis that the ancient Egyptians had been homogeneous population to the purpose. It said it was what, though, yo? Total disagreement. What does that say, Juju?
That everyone agreed.
Why they lying like that, though, yo? What's the purpose of a lie, man?
And if I may,
majority, especially Egyptians, disagreed with the views of Diop. Diop's.
If I may,
what?
A part of the reason they were saying that Africa was indigenous to that Egypt was indigenous to Africa was response to the side that was saying that Egypt was white.
The race theory. Yep, this was outside.
Right, absolutely, because their main arguments were about blood groups and migrations, trying to show that the ancient Egyptians weren't indigenous to Africa. So all of the work that they're talking about when they're showing that it's indigenous to Africa is mainly in response to the side saying that the Egyptians were white, because we got to keep in mind that they're responding to both sides. The side saying it's white and the side saying it's black.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And so here go right here. We'll see it, right? It says, go ahead, Juju. You read that. However, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went off the screen. Give me a second. However, during the discussion of the hypothesis of a homogeneous population, which was favored by Professor Diop, and the hypothesis of a mixed population, which was supported by several other experts, it became clear that there was total disagreement of the peopling of ancient Egypt and the deciphering of the Meteretic script, proceedings of the symposium held in Cairo.
What page? 49, niggas.
Yeah, people.
Since you act like it wasn't in there, it's on page 49. Assad knew this. He knew it.
And this
But
is
he
in
lied.
volume 2.
He lied. Liar, liar, pants on fire, nose as long as Pinocchio's. What's up? Now, we're going to come here, though. The Ancient African Civilization. This is the book that Diop wrote the first chapter on it, yo. So let's come right here, Juju, and we're going to go ahead and do our victory dance. So we already got them right here because it's in the, this is directly from the people of Egypt in the Deciphered and Hermetic script. It's there, page 49. Right, and we're gonna go to the book where all the arguments are. It's there. Like I said, it was there. It's there. Shout out to Smash Rock Wellington. Man, pseudos, yo, is wild, yo. That's why I don't have them around me, yo. They don't know how to be honest, yo. They be dishonorable people. That nonsense. All they want to do is just win. Smash want to get you the real truth. Here you go. This is the book. This is the book. In case you act like it ain't the book. It's the book. It's the book.
Civilization of
Wolof. Look, Egyptian and Wolof. Egyptian and Wolof demonstration. You know that's damn Diops. This is the chapter, The Origin of Ancient Egypt. Let's read the conclusion. Where you at, Juju?
I'm right
Go ahead
here.
and spike the ball. Go ahead and spike the ball. Spike the ball, god dang it. Spike the ball, Juju. Go ahead. This is the what?
The conclusion.
Oh. Is this the book that Pseudo Assad had?
And the hell is going on? Did Pseudo-Assad lie, cheat, and steal? Did he scam the Constamuni intellectual property between their ears? What the hell is going on? He tried to act like it wasn't bad, but it really was bad. It's right there in the book, but the nigga act like it wasn't there, because he was flim-flamming, bim-bamming, booming. A pseudo always
dies at its source.
Come on, yo. Bobby banging this bitch. Go ahead. Let's sit back. Go ahead, Juju.
Conclusion. The structure of African royalty, with the king put to death either really or symbolically.
Ho. Did we just have a whole argument about the king being put to death? See, I knew that was there too.
What are you talking about? Sacrifice?
We have the whole argument over that, yo.
Human sacrifice?
Did we not do that? Just keep going, man.
Okay, either really or symbolically, after a reign which varied in length but was in the region of 8 years, recalls the ceremony of the pharaoh's regeneration through the Sed feast. Also reminiscent of Egypt are the circumcision rites mentioned earlier and the totemism, cosmogonies, architecture, musical instruments, etc. of Black Africa. Egyptian antiquity is to Africa. Oh Lord, what did I do? Give me a second. I'm sorry.
African culture.
Egyptian antiquity is to African culture what Greco-Roman antiquity is to Western culture. The building up of a corpus of African humanities should be based on this fact. It will be understood how difficult it is to write such a chapter in a work of this kind, where euphemisms and compromises are the rule. In an attempt to avoiding sacrificing scientific truth, therefore we made
They ain't gonna sacrifice scientific truth.
No, they said in an attempt to avoid sacrificing scientific truth, therefore we made a point of suggesting 3 preliminaries to the preparation of this volume, of which were agreed to at the plenary session held in 1971. The first 2 led to the holding of the Cairo Symposium from the 28th of January to the 3rd of February in 1974. In this connection, I should like to refer to certain passages in the report of the symposium. Professor Vercounter, who had been commissioned by UNESCO to write the introductory report, acknowledged after a thorough discussion that the conventional idea that the Egyptian population was equally divided between blacks, whites, and half castes could not be upheld. Professor Vercounter agreed that no attempt should be made to estimate percentages, which meant nothing, as it was impossible to establish them without reliable statistical data. On the subject of Egyptian culture, Professor Voltaire remarked that, in his view, Egypt was African in its way of writing, in its culture, and in its way of thinking. Professor Leclerc, for his part,
Go ahead.
for his part, recognized the same African character in the Egyptian temperament and way of thinking. In regard to linguistics, it is stated in the report that this item, in contrast to those previously discussed, revealed a large measure of agreement among the participants. The outline report by Professor Diop and the report by Professor Obenga were regarded as being very constructive. Similarly, the symposium rejected the idea that Pharaonic Egyptian was a Semitic language. Turning to wider issues, Professor Sunron drew attention to the interests of the method suggested by Professor Obenga following Professor Diop. Egyptian remained a stable language for a period of at least 45,000 years. Egypt was situated at the point of convergence of outside influence, and it was to be expected that borrowing had been made from foreign languages, but the Semitic roots numbered only a few. To the next page. Few hundred as compared with a total of several thousand words. The Egyptian language could not be isolated from its African context, and its origin could not be fully explained in terms of Semitic. It was thus quite normal to expect to find related languages in Africa. The genetic, that is, non-accidental relationship between Egyptian and the African languages was recognized. Professor Sanron noted that the method which had been used was of considerable interest since it could not be purely fortuitous, that there was a similarity between the third person singular suffix pronouns in ancient Egyptian and in Wolof. He hoped that an attempt would be made to reconstitute a Paleo-African language using present-day languages as a starting point. In the general conclusion to the report, it was stated that although the preparatory working paper sent out by UNESCO gave particulars of what was desired, not all participants had prepared communications comparable with the painstakingly research contributions of Professor Diop and Obenga. There was consequently a real lack of balance in the discussion. A new page of African historiography was accordingly written in Cairo. The symposium recommended that further studies be made on the concept of race. Such studies have since been carried out, but they have not contributed anything new to the historical discussion. They tell us that molecular biology and genetics recognize the existence of populations alone, the concept of race being no longer meaningful. Yet, whenever there is any question of the transmission of a hereditary taint The concept of race in the most classic sense of the term comes into its own again. For genetics tells us that sickle cell anemia occurs only in Negroes. The truth is that all these anthropologists have already in their own mind drawn the conclusions deriving from the triumph of the monogenic theory of mankind without venturing to put them into explicit terms. For it, mankind originated in Africa. It was necessarily Negroid before becoming white through mutation and adaptation at the end of the last glaciation in Europe in the upper Paleolithic, and it is now more understandable why the Grimaldian Negroids first occupied Europe for 10,000 years before Cro-Magnon man, the prototype of the white race, appeared around 2000. The ideological standpoint is also evident in apparently objective studies in history and in social relations. It is the phenotype that is the individual or the people as that individual or people is perceived, which is the dominant factor as opposed to the genotype. For present day genetics, a Zulu with the same genotype as Volster is not impossible. Does this mean that the history we are witnessing will put the two phenotypes that is the two individuals on the same footing in all their national and social activities? Certainly not. The opposition will remain not social but ethnic. This study makes it necessary to rewrite world history from a more scientific standpoint, taking into account the Negro African component, which is for a long time preponderant. It means that it is now possible to build up a corpus of Negro African humanities resting on a sound historical basis instead of being suspended in midair. Finally, if it is true that only truth is revolutionary, it may be added that only what's that?
The rapprochement.
Rapprochement brought about as on a basis of truth can endure. The cause of human progress is not well served by casting a veil over the facts. The rediscovery of the true past of the African peoples should not be a divisive factor, but should contribute to uniting them, each and all binding them together from the north to the south of the continent, so as to enable them to carry out together a new historical mission for the greater good of mankind, and that is in keeping with the idea of UNESCO.
So there you go. So they get their statements. They don't cut no cards.
So
they don't do none of that.
Nobody editor of the volume. The opinion expressed by Professor Schick and Diop in this chapter are those which he presented and developed at the UNESCO Symposium on the Peopling of Ancient Egypt, which was held in Cairo in 1974. A summary of the proceedings of this symposium will be found at the end of this chapter. The arguments put forward in the chapter have not been accepted by all the experts interested in the problem. Again, the argument put forward in the chapter have not been accepted by all the experts interested in the problem.
Boom.
Yeah, and I think, if I may, I think the experts interested in the problem I think some of them are the people who were actually at the symposium. If you go to the end of that chapter, as that footnote just stated, at the end of the chapter, it actually gives the full.
All right, hold on. All right, let's get to the end of the chapter. Y'all all seen all this before, right? I know y'all have. Look at Diop's books. I know y'all seen all this. All right, let me get to the end. Remember that Jabal knife? Remember that they was trying to say it was Mesopotamian?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on.
That's it.
Symposium of the people of
Right
ancient
there,
Egypt.
right
All
there.
right here. The summary of
If you go up to the just go to the other page, the
the
page
next
before
page.
that, the
Okay,
page
right here.
before that. No,
Oh,
up,
before
the
that,
other one.
right here.
Yeah, right there. It says that is the summary report of the symposium, and it lists all the people that were present at the symposium. And then it lists, as it goes on, it talks about these people's responses to what Diop was saying and to what the side that were saying the Egyptians were white was saying. They wrote their reports. One of the main ones they focused on was the guy from France, his response, and another lady. Right, if you stay right there, this is the first person's response, Professor Vercator. You mind if I read a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you see it good?
Yeah, I can see it. I have it actually blown up.
All right, go ahead.
It says summary of the introductory papers. And these are the papers that were submitted by the side saying it was black and the side saying it was white. Professor Vercator, I think this is the guy from France, drew attention to a number of points dealt with in great detail in his written report and made a number of further observations. And then it lists his observations. In spite of recent progress, physical anthropology had so far provided relatively little reliable data except in Nubia. The information available was insufficient to enable provisional conclusions to be drawn with regard to the peopling of ancient Egypt. So he's just saying the information is just not good enough to say that they were black or white.
Right.
Where was that? In regard to peopling of ancient Egypt and the successive phases through which it may have passed. Furthermore, this information was not homogeneous as regarded either time or space, and historians often disagreed as to how it should be interpreted. The methods themselves were being called in question, but it was now generally agreed that craniometry did not meet the requirements of such research. The craniometry is the stuff that Diop was providing to show the size of their nose, to say because of the size of their nose and the size of their I forget what else their jaw, that they were Negro. And they were just responding to those statements, and they were saying that this stuff was just not sufficient to say that they were black people. One of the main objections, and if you scroll down, you'll read to where they get to another person's response.
All right, hold on.
But the main thing they're saying is that his work on anthropology, his work on iconography, just is not sufficient to say anything about race.
Yeah, it was out of their scope.
Right. Right there at A is speaking about someone else's response, which is Mrs. Blanc at number 2. He said Mrs. Blanc reported on her research findings.
Oh, okay.
Right at the bottom there. If you scroll down, you will see where, if you keep going at the very end, she's more responding to the people saying that the Egyptians were white. And at the very end there, she says the most they can say is that they are African.
Where that's at right here? Ms. Blanc went to make the overall explanation.
No, keep going.
Uh-huh.
Right at the last paragraph right there.
Right here,
I believe that's in that last paragraph.
Beside the Nile Valley facilitated communication.
Right, yeah, right where you have highlighted. Right, absolutely.
Right, go ahead.
She emphasized that the Nile Valley facilitated communication with West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, and that it was reasonable to put forward the hypothesis that the civilizations which emerged there might be authentically African rather than civilizations intermediate between the Mediterranean world and Black Africa. And so that was fundamentally her finding, was that they weren't white or from the Mediterranean. They were authentically an African people. But her response was mainly to the guys saying that they were white. If you keep scrolling, you'll see other people's responses. Specifically, they go back to responding to Diop.
Let me see.
Here, if you stop there real quick, in that, right there at the very top, in that paragraph that says, it's speaking in any event, Professor Save Soderbergh.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Right there, it says, in any event, Professor Sage Soderbergh, who was also one of the professors at the symposium, thought that it was impossible to base a study of the peopling of Egypt in ancient times or any other similar study on racial distinction. In future,
whoa, where we at?
The paragraph that says, in any event. In future, other lines of inquiry should be followed. So he just said that it doesn't make sense to try and, if you want me to reread that sentence on?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
From right at the top of the paragraph where it says, in any event, Professor Save Soderbergh thought that it was impossible to have a study of the peopling of Egypt in ancient times or any other similar study on racial distinctions. In future, other lines of inquiry should be followed. Different cultures, contemporary with one another but isolated, might nevertheless belong to the same techno-complex. This new method confirmed that Egypt was African. But if one looked beyond this finding, it was apparent that there were many other problems. Nagata one, and they're going into certain problems. Again, I think that's also in response to whether they were black or white. But it's just saying that trying to look at it from a racial lens just doesn't make sense. Right after that, it goes into what Sheikh Anta Diop presented. So that's all of Sheikh Anta Diop's, what Sheikh Anta Diop was saying. If you keep scrolling, it goes and speaks and continues to speak on responses to him.
Yeah, I see. Right, so we know what Diop's argument is right here.
Right, but if you look at it, it'll kind of give you a brief synopsis of all of the points, all of the main important points that Diop was making. So at the very end, you see that he's speaking about the anthropological studies that he did. And these were the things that, the other professors were speaking out against, saying, this doesn't really prove anything.
Like fragments stated, Professor Diop's contain melanin is sufficient quantity to establish this Negroid skin. Yeah, you can't do that. No such thing.
Right. And the other guys were saying you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Pretty much.
And today in 2023, you actually can't do that.
Right, absolutely.
Let me see. In the quest for positive proof, Professor Diop said had studied a number of participations being subjected to laboratory examinations in Dakar. These consisted of samples of skin taken from mummies found in Mariti excavation. He said they all reveal, and Professor Diop invited the specialists present to examine the samples. The presence of the considerable quantity of melanin between the epidermis and the dermis, melanin which is not present in white skin. Well, we now know that's not true. Okay, persisted in millions of years, notwithstanding frequent affirmations to the contrary, as could be seen from an examination of skin fossils in animals. Professor Diop hoped to be given the opportunity to carry out similar research on the skin of the pharaohs whose mummies were in the Cairo Museum collection. He went on to state that the conclusive anthropological studies would also include archaeological measurements and the study of blood groups. It was remarkable, for the example, that the present-day Egyptians, particularly in Upper Egypt, belong to the same blood group in the population of West Africa, and not group A2, which was characterized of the white race. Yeah, so they was reading the other day, they was reading all the Diop stuff. Yeah, that was crazy. He talked about
right. And if you look on, it says in number 3 and C, it says Professor He went on to speak about Herodotus. He even went on and he was speaking about, he even spoke about the Bible. He even tried to use the Bible, and then right there it spoke about what he did with the word commit. So all of that is
Oh, yeah,
there.
right, right here. Yep, it was used only for the word proposed commit. It says the strong term exists in the language of the Pharaoh to indicate blackness, which was translated by Professor Diop as Negroes. So he was saying that the term was like Negroes, which, you know, he's French, so what he's saying was black. Consequently, this hieroglyphic was not written with the crocodile scales, but with pieces of charcoal. Professor Dumbo contributed an extensive review of the information given in volume 1. Professor Lalent began by stressing the African character of Egyptian civilization, but it was necessary to distinguish clearly, as Professor Vonnet had done, between race and culture.
Right. So he was pretty much reiterating that this was not about race; it was about culture.
Yeah, and that's where they at now. Absolutely. Yep.
Even if you scroll down some more, there's more.
You want to read?
Keep going.
All right, go ahead. Symposium. All participants were generally historians qualified. In any case.
Right. I think, you know, if we keep in mind that they're also responding to the side that was saying that they were white. So a lot of what's being said doesn't necessarily apply to Diop.
No, of
so if you
not.
keep,
of course not.
Right. So if you keep going a little bit, because I think these guys are responding to the white argument. If you scroll down a little bit, if you keep going, because they do come back to you know, dealing with Diop.
We'll keep going. Diop's right here. Language was not a purely African language. It belonged to the Proto-Semitic group. Concluded examples. So he was fine about that.
Right. Like here's another criticism here. Yeah, what you're reading. You know, one of the main criticisms, that's one of the main ones I was looking for, was where they said that Diop only studied, they said throughout the history of Egypt, there have been hundreds of millions of Egyptians, and he only looked at the craniums of a handful of Egyptians, and to make this grand statement about all Egyptians, given the small handful of skulls that he looked at, you know, they were just saying that was like a major stretch. But that's one of the criticisms that's written there. But it's kind of hard for me to get to it right now. But keep going. I want you to keep going down the other. Yeah, this is where they're talking about the Kemet stuff. And I think
it is impossible. It is impossible to reach a scientific valid conclusion by working on a large scale. There are almost no unambiguous examples in the history of a major migration accompanying major cultural transformations. They say Negro was not a clearly defined concept today as far as physical anthropologists were concerned. Okay, a skeleton did not provide evidence of skin color. Only the tissue and the skin itself were important in that respect. They say it was imperative to broach the study of paleopathology and the funerary practices without delay. Yeah, this is a great.
Hey, hold on. Before you move on, if you look at right in the middle there, above number 8, right where you're highlighting, says to designate black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kemu, not Kemetiu. I think I'm pronouncing that okay. In any case, but the important part is where it says, in any case, they never use this adjective to indicate the black people of the African hinterland whom they knew about from the time of the New Kingdom onwards. Nor in general did they use names of colors to distinguish different peoples. So they're just saying that labeling people by color was not something they did.
Yeah, that, I mean, everybody kind of messed that up right there. And I guess they was basically trying to basically prove their point.
Here, slow down a little bit. Go back up just a little bit. I'm trying to find the piece where they yeah, I think here is where they're giving Obenga credit for his work on linguistics, and saying that that work was worth studying. But the main thing was that it showed that they were authentically African, and but it didn't really speak to anything about race.
Yeah, that whole
But keep
piece.
going.
So the whole race piece is going to be real shady at this particular point in history, though. Like they not even the scientists is not trying to do that like that. Typography perhaps be brought and support immigration and invasion. Yeah, so you know how we always talk about. You see, Professor Gordon Jack stated that the study of Egyptian typography could perhaps be brought to bear in support of assertion that no massive immigration or invasion of foreign population had arrived in Egypt at least since the Neolithic times. Right. So they once again they saying these people is homegrown in Egypt.
Right.
There was no mass migration of people, right? And so we use that in support of them being African, right? But then you got to stay with that though. You can't all this. Oh yeah, they colors that color because it was a mass migration and then they chased out the indigenous people. You can't. You gotta make your mind up.
What page are you on right now, Ankh?
I'm on page. Oh shoot, this is page 65.
65. There's a lot of good stuff in between, you know, where they speak. Keep going down a little bit.
All right.
I know that specifically on page 74 is where they were calling him loud and proud. Yeah. Yeah, keep going.
Discussion. Where we at? We're gonna keep going now. Based on Homo sapiens separated about 150,000 years ago. Keep going.
Yeah. This is just pretty much laying out what Diop was saying again. See that last sentence, Professor Diop's theory was rejected in its entirety by one participant. And if you keep going,
man, none of the
numerous objections. So it's talking about some of the objections there that were raised. It says numerous objections were made to the ideas propounded by Professor Diop. These objections reveal the extent of the disagreement, which remained profound, even though it was not voiced explicitly. In respect of certain sequences, the criticisms arose out of the line of argument put forward. Keep going down a little bit.
In respect to certain sequences, I say, as far as the ancient times concerned, the earlier than the French still called Neolithic period. Difficult to find satisfactory answers. Keep going.
Keep going down,
All right. Man, nobody read none of this. All right, where we at?
Keep going.
Okay.
Slow. Keep going.
Hold on. Come right here, though. Let's see what they're saying. The discussion was on less lively concern the Neolithic pre-dynastic periods. Professor Abu Bakr emphasized that the Egyptians had never been isolated from other peoples. They say they had never constituted a pure race, and it was impossible to accept the idea that the Neolithic period, the population of Egypt was entirely black. It says the population of Egypt in Neolithic times has mingling of men from west to east who had been incorrectly called Hamites. Right. Let's not forget what the black hypothesis was. Right. And so they speaking against all that. It's like, come on, yo. It's not what that is. It's telling you that west and east, right, miscalled the Hamitic. That's an important statement right there. So if you just keep, so we reading the different participants. You want me to keep going?
Let me just read the paragraph that says Professor Verkater firmly stated his conviction.
Go ahead.
No, go back up.
I'm right here. You can see it?
Yeah, no, you went past it. Go back up. Yeah, right. No, one more, a little bit more. Hang on. Am I Yeah, I had it zoomed out, so I wasn't seeing. I'm seeing it now. Professor Verkata firmly stated his conviction with regard to the peopling of Egypt in ancient times that the inhabitants of the Nile Valley had always been mixed. Outside elements coming from west and east had been numerous, particularly in pre-dynastic times. So that's just one person voicing their opinion that it wasn't black; it was more mixed.
Yeah, but that's why, I mean, well, we read all the anthropology during that time. They always said it was mixed. It never was that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it goes along with the line of evidence. They was looking at they were seeing different aspects of that though.
Yeah, keep going. If you want to go straight now, keep going. I want to see if there's any other thing that was important to highlight. But I know that there's something on page 74 that I just want to show real quick. But keep going.
All right. Nile Valley population. All right here. The conclusion of the experts who did not accept the theory put forward by Professor Shiganti Diop and Obenga that the Nile Valley population had been homogeneous from the earliest of times until the Persian invasion was that the basic population of Egypt settled there in Neolithic times, that it originated largely in the Sahara, and that it comprised people from the south of the Sahara who were differentiated by their color. The opposition to this theory, Professor Diop and Obenga submitted their own theory to the effect that the valley was people informally by black people, and that the movement had been from south to north. Now, that's where we at right there. The experts did not accept the theory. They were saying that the population from south to north. That's not how the population came. The population came from population. People came in North Africa. Population came from south. Population came from the foothills of Ethiopia. Population came out of the Sahara. There's different entry points into the Nile Valley. I always make the point that there is no fence along the Nile on both sides for 4,000 miles that only opens up in the south and only opens up in the north. We now centric. The truth is, we clearly can show how the populations come from different places on the Nile. So I'm gonna read this again. The conclusion of the experts who did not accept the theory put forward by Professor Shiganti Diop and Obenga that the Nile Valley population had been homogeneous from the earliest of times until the Persian period. So we know that's not what happened. It was that the basic population of the Egyptian settlement there in Neolithic times, that it originated largely from the Sahara, and that it composed of people from north and from the south of the Sahara who were differentiated by their color. There you go. The opposition to this theory. So Diop was like, nah, we the opposition to that. We says Professor Diop and Banger submitted their own theory to the effect that the valley was populated uniformly by black people, and that the movement of people was from the south to north. We now that they didn't accept it back then, and come on, y'all. Like, we don't gotta play this game. Damn near 50, 60 years later, yo. We clearly know where the population come from, out of the Green Sahara. Come on.
What page you on right now, Ankh?
Oh, this the fire page 67.
Page 67. Yeah, keep going.
Yes, I ain't reading none of this.
Right, but you know what I mean? It's all really good stuff to read, especially for people who are really interested in the topic.
Is rocking here too. As regard the Paleolithic period, Shiganti Diop put forward the hypothesis that Homo sapiens settled progressively in the Nile Valley. As far as the latitude of Memphis, watch this, yo. Professor Abuba said that too little information was available concerning this period, and that the northern part of the Nile Valley might not have been inhabited at all. Yeah, it actually wasn't neither. But we can pull the record. Professor Obenga, on the other hand, had considered that between the Upper Paleolithic and Neolithic period, there had been continuous settlement by a uniform population. The Egyptians themselves had laid emphasis on this in their oral traditions, mentioning the Great Lakes as the original homeland and Nubia as the country identified with theirs. He was trying right there. Yeah, but Diop did a good part to talk about Homo sapiens sapiens in the early periods being in that area. They was. Professor Shikandi Diop submitted certain details by way of reply. Radiocarbon dating of Western
Here,
Sahara. Go ahead. Where you want me to go? Go ahead.
My battery power is dying fast. Scroll down a little bit because there's some really interesting stuff I wanted you to look at. Slow down a sec. Keep going.
All right. Where we at?
There's a part where it speaks about 71? Obenga and
71
and Diop saying that there were two races, that there were two black races, a black race with straight hair and a black hair race with kinky hair. They actually separated the black race in two.
I see this.
Keep going for a little bit. Keep going down.
I'll keep going. I'm gonna go back to page 71.
Yeah, go down the results of the physical. Keep going. See
it. Point open. Out of hand.
Keep going. Go down a little.
The ancient Egyptians should reject out of hand without posing any. Niggas should just read this history of Africa. Where? Keep going.
Yeah. Keep going.
All right, I'm on 73 now.
Yeah.
Oh, that racial terminology would be studied. The specialists on the modern physical anthropology scientific definition. We usually got. Okay, keep going.
Here, look at the right at the bottom there. You see it. There's a sentence that said he considered.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
That there were.
Go ahead. Hold on.
He considered.
Start up here though, Professor.
Yeah, Professor Diop went on to specify that cranial measurements had never provided any statistical basis for specifying that a particular brain size was characteristic of one race or another. He considered that there were two black races, one with smooth hair and the other with crinkly hair. And if the skin color was black, it was unlikely that the other fundamental characteristics which he had previously enumerated would not be found. And Obenga also, if you look at the paragraph that says Professor Obenga.
You gotta read. Finish this. Lastly, the blood 2 group A2 was characterized of white people. Black people tended to have group B, or in more limited numbers cases, group C. It's a Professor Sini replied that the American specialist whom he had consulted while preparing for the symposium had told him that the skeleton studies had more importance, but that they did not in themselves provide the basis for determining race, and that the criteria regarded as adequate by Professor Diop's were rightly or wrongly no longer considered to be so by American specialists. So they were saying, nah, dog, you can't make a race out of that. So it's wild because Diop and them was actually fighting for race in the time period where they was trying to get out of that. But keep going.
Right. Go to the next page. The last page I wanted to look at was 74.
Bobby.
Yes.
Amir's looking for the link.
All right.
That's 74.
Yeah.
If you go, where is it?
Link, Juju? You can put it.
Yeah, you see, right? You see the paragraph that says the main criticism. No, above that.
Above, okay.
Yeah, right, the main criticism. And then right above that, it says Professor Diop's forceful affirmation. Professor Diop's forceful affirmation was criticized by many participants because it was speaking about how at one point he just started to really try to force his position on people and just started to be loud and stuff.
Read up. He started talking about in response to the various questions put to him, Professor Diop stated that the samples already proved by archaeology were adequate to support his argument. He was unable to accept Professor Varney's proposal that anthropological documentation antedating about 1939 should be regarded as of dubious reliability on it to this lack of scientific rigor. So Diop was trying to use something from 1939. Okay? I'm gonna read this again. In response to the various questions put forth to him, Diop stated that the samples already provided by archaeology were adequate to support his argument. He was unable to accept the Professor Varney's proposal that anthropological documentation antedating about 1939 should be regarded as dubious reliable owing to its lack of scientific rigor. Professor Diop's forceful information was criticized by the participants. He started going black on them. It says the main criticism was voiced by Professor Songyeon, who observed that the total number of people who had occupied the Nile Valley between the beginning of historical times and the present day could responsibly be estimated at several 100 million individuals. He said a few hundred sites had been excavated and some 200 bodies studied in view of was sparseness of the data thus obtained. It was totally unrealistic to infer from them such ambiguous general conclusions. They were saying, come on, y'all making ambiguous general conclusions, as the availability of samples gave nothing like a complete picture. It was advisable to wait until rigorous and sufficiently comprehensive inquiry into general features had been universally accepted evidence. Now, where you at? Where you want me to go?
Hey, Unc, I'm gonna have to take off, bro.
All right, bro. So we good. All right, we stop.
Yeah,
right
man.
here.
Yeah,
right,
thanks
man.
for having me.
All right, we got it then. All right, so there you go. Did you drop the link in there, Juju? She gone.
Yes, I did. Stop saying that.
But that get you too.
I'm not a mod on
Don't
HOK.
say that. Huh?
I'm not a moderator on HOK, so I dropped it in Community of Skeptics.
All right.
For those who are interested.
Still popped up. Didn't it pop over here? There it go. I'm not a mod. Oh man.
Thank God. Them wrenches are a curse.
Yeah, the wrench. Yeah, everybody was looking at your wrench like you made the person give it to you.
Never.
Yeah, that's wild right there, yo. I made him give me that wrench. I got the wrench because we was friends.
Never.
Yeah, none of that's there. None of that's there. I think we done about hold on, I had one more. Now, this is actually the document that nobody actually read. This is the symposium that they did want nobody necessarily reading. Anyway, man, all these it's all here. So I mean, y'all could read it if you want. You don't got to. This is actually a symposium and the people of ancient Egypt, right? It's in 96, 97, page 96. Now, y'all can read all that, right? I'm about at the end of the readership at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, we're not gonna act like nobody did nothing because that ain't what necessarily had.
I want to add something for the audience that us claiming to be Pan-African, Black, Black and we proud, like Bobby always says, are political statements.
Yeah, my political statement, yeah.
When we are dealing with these type of subject matters, these are scientific conversations being interjected with constructs that are not scientific. That is the point and the overall problem.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's what it is, y'all. Yeah. What's going on, brother? Talk to us.
I have a question.
Yeah, we listening.
That good guy. Hey,
how you doing, Juju?
Hey to nobody. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Peace to the panel, peace to everybody, especially peace to the queen, Juju. But I'm sorry. My question is now to have a clear mind of things. If we saying that, is it more pseudo? Listen to my question. Is it more pseudo for the white people to believe that the ancient Egyptians were white, Or is it just saying that the ancient Egyptians were black because you in Africa? All right, dark-skinned people. So which one would you consider pseudo? Them saying that they were black or white or both?
Well, shit. Both of them is wild statements. We just feel more comfortable with with saying they black, but in reality, for real, you know what I'm saying, that's they both pseudo statements because that's the whole conference was saying that we ain't doing that. But hold on for a minute.
Those are still racial statements. That's how I feel about it.
That's my question, because I think it is just my perspective. I think it is more of a racial statement for somebody outside of Africa claiming that it's white people instead of people in Africa claiming that it's black people, because I think that is more scientific.
What do you feel about people calling the Libyans or the Tamahu white then?
I think you're talking about a time period. So I think we're talking
Yeah, that's
about
ancient. We're talking about ancient time period, where we're talking about ancient Egyptian civilization, period.
So I think that's the problem. Now, what is ancient? Is ancient 30 BC? Because that's the Roman time period, and they could and they were and some information to say that they were white.
There were
So
black Romans also. Of course, some of them had African descent, but I mean, they were black. Now, were they looked at in the same capacity that racist white people look at us today? I don't particularly think so.
I don't think that's a problem. I don't have the problem of the racial concept of separating people, and I think that the fact that people realize that these people were different color and they painted them different color. I'm not saying that it's the racial thing that we have today, but is distinction of separation. If you understand what I'm saying.
So why can't we just say them saying certain classifications as black is just a description or a distinction, has nothing to do with race? Why can't we say that?
Get back to the conversation. Where you shit? Where your mind at?
Me and Juju was building, right, Juju?
All right, go ahead, Juju. Let me get out. Go ahead.
We were just talking.
Go ahead, finish. I want to hear it.
I mean, I asked the question.
I don't remember the question.
I was asking the question, I asked a couple questions. I asked a question about the distinction of Romans because people always say that they're just white, but to my understanding, there were other types of people in Rome, just not quote unquote white people. And to my knowledge, Romans weren't like white. If you want to talk about complexion, also.
Yeah, they weren't white.
So
the Italians are what the Romans are today, and I know quite a few Italians and some Sicilians, and they're very dark and could be considered to be, black or of the black persuasion also. And if people can remember in early American history, when Italians were coming here, they were considered, and called racial names also because of their dark skin, which we now call olive complexion or whatnot.
Swarthy and all that. You were absolutely right. But that is a thing that concept of white Anglo-Saxon thing. That's a new what is that? Like a 1920 thing or something like that.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not quite sure about that
issue. That's why we are, trying to get people to understand, to get rid of these racialized concepts. I totally agree with certain words as descriptors, of people, or distinctions made of different nations, as in the Book of Gates, but to place like these racialized ideas, that becomes a problem. And when we do it to, you know, ancient cultures and different things, it becomes more of a problem.
If you build one, I'm sorry, Juju.
That's just my point.
If you build with Smash has said that there was something in Kemet that they said wretched black.
The wretched Kush or something. I think. Yeah. What about that?
So I'm just saying that if they were saying
it wasn't
that,
racialized though. It wasn't racialized. You're saying, nigga,
but,
I don't fuck with the tribe.
And that's my question, right? So I have two questions rather. You have the I'm trying to stick with this. I'm on my blackology. So
yeah,
I'm trying
ain't nothing wrong with that. I tell you, ain't nothing wrong with the blackology, you know.
So and you have the what's that, the 12th dynasty, when they have that makeup of all the people, right? So I'm trying to understand.
What you mean? The 12th
Not
dynasty
make
where you see the Asiatics come in. But go ahead.
Excuse me. I'm trying to get the thing in my head.
25th
Nah,
dynasty,
when you have all them the people in, they have the Nubians, the people, other African peoples, and then you have the Indo-Europeans, and then you have somebody else off the top of my head. I don't remember.
Well, that's the first time they start to recognize Asiatics coming in. That's the 12th dynasty, though, man.
So my question about that picture right there is that you have a distinction, not to say that's racial, just say that it was the distinction of grouping, and if I'm saying the word right, grouping of people, right?
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying that it's a racial content like we using now, like how we use racial now, but I'm just saying that people at that time knew who they were, knew who other people were.
Yeah.
So why we cannot take that and say that they knew that they were dark-skinned people? That's what we got to get to, and to say that they are the people who people maybe pseudo. They people Egypt, the Sudan, and those areas.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, in Upper Egypt, yo, they are darker brown. They live close to the equator. In Khartoum, they even darker. Nobody denies that. But
I have no. Okay.
Yeah, that ain't no big deal. That nobody's saying they not. Even Crazy Hawal say that the Upper Egyptians is darker, black.
But Uncle, when you say that scientists don't say that, that's my thing. I'm trying to understand. Like,
you say you get the skin map say it. That's science. It says closer to the equator, the more bombardment of UVA rays, the more you flourish better with the darker your skin is. The science do say that.
So we could say that dark-skinned people are the originators of Egypt. Can we say that, Uncle?
Man, but that's not even how it was. Damn, it wasn't just dark-skinned people there.
I'm not saying dark-skinned people, but when you gotta say dark-skinned people, I think we just mean African people. People from Africa, not out of Africa.
I want to talk about the skin. You know how long the river is, right?
The Nile, right? You talking about?
Yeah, it's the longest river on planet Earth, yo.
It's some thousands of miles long.
4,100 miles. It goes through 2 zones of UVA rays. So people don't come in from one direction. That's the wildest.
So we all got light-skinned and dark-skinned people in our family. My bad.
Yeah, Diops act like they marched like soldiers and marched up from the south. They was just wrong with that. I'm gonna show y'all something. Hold on. Yeah, it was definitely wrong with that, Juju. You know what I'm saying, Juju? That's not how they came in there.
I mean, I definitely understand.
Juju, you funny. Juju say, let me see. Hold on. Let me find this for y'all. Let me show y'all up-to-date research. I'm definitely going to show you this so we can see how populations came in. All right. Man, hit that link, man. They quiet on that link, man. Hey, Juju.
Yeah.
They quiet on that link.
Put it in there again.
Nope. Nope. Hell no, but hell no. That shit funny. All right, we're gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna show you something. This is what we saying. Damn, where the hell is my dad gonna email that right
And
here?
I spoke to Juju, my second contingent. I don't think you heard me. You must have been on the phone.
What's your second contention?
Go ahead.
I can't pronounce things properly. Anyway,
You
so
both, nigga. Go ahead. We together with that one.
so when it comes to like, all right, that was my question. When they say that the white people started Egypt, isn't that racist?
Yeah,
Not,
yeah. Of course it was. That's why they overturned that shit. That's why the Cairo Symposium say we ain't even listen to that. That's just stupid. We ain't gonna talk about that. You're out of there. That's how they did that. They immediately threw that out of the game. But go ahead, keep talking. It was rabid racism, yo. And that's why I can understand the response from Diop and them. I clearly understand why they responded that way.
And that's why I don't believe they got beat up, because my belief, I may be pseudo, because they had, racist white people saying that they were white people who started Egypt. And then Diop came with the...
Listen, that's not how science works. You can lay out several arguments, yo. Win certain arguments and lose certain arguments. I said they got beat up on the black Egyptian part.
The black hypothesis, to be specific, is what he was referring to when Diop got beat up at the UNESCO.
Most people disagree with that. That's all I was saying. And I don't know why anybody want to fight that one. That's a crazy war. It's crazy. We just read it. They ain't get that off, yo. They got some other things off, though.
Like the linguistics part.
Yep, they got a little bit of that off, saying, they got off. People agreeing that it was African.
That's where y'all lose me at. If the linguistics, because if you're talking about linguistics and you saying that, all right, they gave them that, but they didn't give them this.
Gave who what? They just saying that it showed that they was in the same family, like they was Africans.
A family group, right?
Was kind of giving them, and then the culture and all that stuff. And they said he was thinking like Africans, the whole 9 yards.
So my question is, how can they? Why did they separate the African postponement of the thing?
They didn't separate it.
No,
are you
right? I'm telling you, saying that
they were separating Egypt from Africa. Is that what you're trying to say?
The races did. The races, wild people.
Right,
did.
And that was the whole point of the conference.
The point of the conference, to bring it back.
The racial implications, like trying to say that Egypt wasn't an African, civilization. Trying to say that Egypt wasn't in Africa, almost trying to say that outsiders are Sumerians. So anything that was non-African was the progenitor of Egypt. That was the point of the conference.
Yeah,
so,
same thing people do now. Right now, these people. They say the same shit.
Yo, not to cut you off, I was on the internet, and you know the African bust of the Nefertiti, the fake one. You got people on the internet still showing that as the real Nefertiti.
Oh man, I don't know about all that shit, man. That should be just... I want to show y'all. I want to show you this though. This is a good one for y'all. Get you going. Show you something. Show you what the up-to-date. And then, hey, Juju, go to the thing and show what the up-to-date scholarship is. It's the same shit they were saying at UNESCO. They not saying what people are saying. That's a point I need to really bring right here, yo. Juju. That modern scholarship always contends now, from 1974 to now, yo, that they was indigenous Africans. Am I not right or wrong about that, Juju?
That is fact.
Right. Correct. So where the hell is everybody else talking about? Go show me. I don't want to see a video. I want to see a source to say they saying they black Egyptian. That's my next point I should have brought out early in the damn game.
I'm not understanding. What? They're indigenous Africans?
Yes.
So
here you go. This is what I want to show y'all. Climate control, Holocene occupation of the Sahara. The mode of African evolution. Remember, I kept talking about the populations, how they came to the river. Look, so at about man, I believe this is the Copeland map. Copeland is the one, Rudolph Cooper and Stephen Copeland. Read all his work. So he's basically the guy that actually goes into the Sahara and start finding all kind of bones and fish bones and rivers and lakes. He do that. Nobody else he's the authority on that. Nobody do that. So basically, if you look at 8,000 BCE, you see that the Nile is actually populated Sudan and Egypt and a little. There's nothing up. Remember, we read that it wasn't no populations up there in the north. It actually wasn't. Right? The population was all down in the south. You said, well, Uncle, you just said all of them didn't come from the south. Well, hold on now. Now it's spread back out when it get green. They all go from different spots, right? Then they change back. Look, and then we get over here. Boom, boom, boom. This is during pharaonic time at the end. But you can see the different populations over here. Look, all the way over there. Look at CB, right? Look how far they're away from the Nile, ladies and gentlemen. So those populations, when they go back, this is pharaonic times all the way down here. D, right? They from the north all the way to the south, all the way deep south, right? All the way over here. See those light circles right there in D? That's the point I'm trying to bring. Now, hold on. Let me come to this next piece. Hold on. Oh, we did that. I'm gonna do this one. Oh man.
Well, you get it right. I wanted to remind the people.
I got it right.
You finna already say it about the array of phenotypes on the continent of Africa and the genetic diversity. So when we sit here and say black and homogenous, that is clearly wrong.
Right, you're just wrong. I ain't arguing that no more. I'm gonna let y'all pick off for two black, or what you saying, black people, but they already said it was that type there. They just don't be calling them black. They was always saying, they never not said it was. And I kept saying it, right? But the running around here and say the Egyptians is black. First of all, there is no race. It's a social construct, right? What you talked about is phenotypes is more closely related to what you would call a southern population. That southern population in Khartoum, in Nubia, you know what I'm saying? They was always there, yo. Southern populations was always there. All right, that's not a dig. In all the scars, it was always a diversity. And first of all, there's no perfect black nothing. That's not even how Homo sapien work. Me and Juju was talking about that. But you see the range of skin color right here on this map. You can either accept it or not, but it's based by scientific data. It's what the data says. It ain't what Unc says. So to argue against that without no credentials is wild to me. That's my whole point. Y'all just wild for that. You can read the whole scientific paper on this. And I dropped the link, and y'all ain't hit the link, but you can definitely read a whole scientific paper on this.
So I get it. You agree with it, but you're just staying scientific with it. You're not gonna say,
I can't, because it doesn't, because it went to war over it, yo. As soon as I say they black, you can say they white. Jabari said,
that's what you're saying.
Say to Tim, who is white. He had that whole argument. Tim, who is white. They Europeans, because Diop said it. Yeah, okay, but the Tim who had the whole Egyptian dynasties.
I think you gotta explain that to the people, because I gotta
explain that again, yo.
Yo, people not understanding. Like, if you understand. No. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm talking for the people in the audience, because I'm in the audience. I come out here and I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Right, what? Go ahead.
So you're saying that it originated from dark skin people with dark hue.
No, nigga. Here's the point.
Hold on. Let me say what I think you're saying, and you correct me at the end of it.
Right.
So people with dark hue, but they range of different colors from I would say this, what we call now the Sudan, and they range from different colors, and that's basically who started.
Right, a group that they weren't even Egypt. Here, look, let me show y'all. Look, here you go. Here you go. Up to date map. Up to date. There you go. 6th to the 5th millennium, from 6,000 to 5,000 BCE, the end of the Green Sahara, increase aridization, contraction of human groups. to the Nile Valley, mobility, unorganized migrations of small groups, knowledge transfer, trade exchange. Here you go. You see your southern groups, the blue and the purple. You see the red, still in southern. The orange, still in southern. Then you see these groups up here, right? The green, yellow, they all into the Nile, yo. You wasn't just diving from the bottom, yo. It wasn't a fence there. They could come in the Nile from all different ways. We got to expand our damn brain, yo. And not to mention it's 4,100 miles. It's different. The people up where the green and the yellow is, they're going to be lighter. I showed y'all the hands. The people down there with the purple and the blue, they're going to be darker. The people in the middle going to range in the middle, yo. And then you look at this circle right here. See the green? See that red dot in the green? Now look at that red. Look at that big circle right there. Y'all think niggas was walking 10,000 miles. Nah, they go about 100 miles, 70 miles. You act like they had cell phones, yo. You get 100 miles from a person, you don't know where they at this point. So the migratory pattern. Look at the migratory pattern. Look again at the green, right? Up there with Tel Afaka. Did I say that right? Tel Faka, yep. Green. See that red circle around that green? Now look at this black circle right here. It's right before the 6th millennium. See that? Inside of that, it's showing you different migratory patterns. They're going straight this way, going that way. You act like they got GPS. These are large areas. Y'all just look at the map, look small. That's how they migrate different. So it's different migrations within the green. There's different migrations within the yellow. There's different migrations within the orange. There's different migrations within the red. There's different migrations within the purple and the blue. These are large goddamn areas. Y'all say that's a little map. No. 4,100 miles is the longest river on planet Earth. Simple as that. You ain't even imagine how long the daggone Nile is. You act like it's short. No. But come on, man. Yo, we studied geography around here, man.
All right, so there you go.
I'm gonna leave that up for a while, man. Reggie just brought this map up right here, yo. I don't see the. I mean, I know y'all. Hey, Juju, can you see that? Ain't that clear as day?
Yeah, clear as day to me.
You see the circle in the green?
Yeah,
right?
I see it. It's clear as day that it's all in Africa. Yeah, we get it.
You see where the different populations is coming from? It's not just a southern. That's what Diop say. Diop say they just came from the blue, y'all. They was wrong. Hell. The conference said they came from north, south, and all the northwest. Did they not say that?
But isn't this? Oh, but not sorry to cut you, but isn't this? Oh, so this is all at one time period. 5th, 6th millennium. All right. So
yeah, they come because they're coming out of the Sahara. Yo, remember I keep showing that? They're coming out of the Sahara, man. Let me see. Where is this at? Let me see something, man. I want to get the actual paper. Did I have that? Let me see. Here you go. All right, y'all see this right here? What's going on, Sha? I hear you, bro. Here go all the data points right here for y'all. This is the actual early Holocene reoccupation from 8,000, 7,000. This is it right here. That's what I was just trying to show y'all. Y'all can read over here. Climate control occupation. We can see how they spread out and they fan back and forth, yo. It's not just one migration from south to north. Diop was clearly wrong based off of available archaeological. These red dots represent archaeological sites. 8,500 BCE. The archaeological sites clearly are right there in south and north. So if Egypt would have started right here, then we could safely say that the large portion of the damn population would have been dark brown. Okay, but since it wasn't no damn Egypt at 8,500 years, and it wasn't no Egypt at 8,500 to 7,000 years, and it ain't no damn Egypt from 7,000 to 5,300 years, and it ain't no damn Egypt from 5,300 to 3,500 is when the shit start. And when the shit start, ladies and gentlemen, you got populations all over the daggone area, north and south. So I don't know why anybody would actually argue against that. I'm showing you scientific data, up-to-date data. This is the up-to-date data right here. The climate control, Holocene occupation of the Sahara, mode of African evolution is right here. And you don't see nobody coming outside in the red, look at the Red Sea, right? And look at the Sinai Peninsula. You don't see no archaeological sites there. Ain't nobody coming in from right there. They all in this area. So I mean, come on, yo. And you can look at the map. 3,500 BCE with 3,300 BCE is when Nile Valley, Egypt actually started. And by the time it starts, right, you got different people with different skin complexions there, different phenotypes there. By the time it's Egypt, it's very varied in phenotype. The Diops them just was wrong. And they're not wrong because I'm saying they're wrong. I'm saying because the data says they're wrong. So I don't even know why people even argue at this point. We act like we taking it off of Africa. I'm sorry, y'all, that if Egypt would have started at 8,500, that's map 8. If it would have started at A, my fault, A, then you could damn near have that argument that, yeah, they was dark to brown, all of them. Okay, but it didn't start in A, and it didn't start at B, and it didn't start at C. It started somewhere around at D. And D, you can clearly see it's people all over the daggone now. And I showed you the map with the hands on it. So you know what? I keep saying this, man. I'm done. I'm telling you,
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Yeah,
Right now I'm putting 14 hours. That math you giving me right now. I'm lost.
Okay. Do you see?
No. Listen. I'm saying I'm too tired to understand what you're saying right now.
Hold on.
It's me, not you. It's
look
me.
At the screen. No, I'm gonna make you look at the screen, yo.
Tired.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Do you see A, B, C, D?
You want me to respond?
Huh?
Yes.
You sure?
I'm lying. Yeah, I see it. A, B, C, D. Yeah, I see it. I see it on the side, yes.
Egypt started where map D is. Do you see that?
Map D.
Map D. Gotcha. A, B, C, D. See where that word?
Got you. I got you. Well,
look at the bottom of D. Do you see the time period?
It says 5,300. 5,300.
To what? Now, when did Egypt start? BCE. Egypt started when, yo? 3,300 BCE or 3,400, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you see them red dots all over the map?
Yes.
They are archaeological sites. Do you see archaeological sites from north to south, east to west? Do you not see them dots all over that motherfucker?
I understand what you're saying now. I understand what you're saying.
Now it's different complexions. Up here near the delta, near the ocean, up at the top near D, those people are going to be lighter. As you go down further south, those people are going to be darker. So during pharaonic time when it started, and pre-dynastic in Egypt, yo, it was different skin complexes and different phenotypes. North African, Northeast Africans, Southern Sudan, and all that. That's simple, yo. Like, it's not even complicated. It don't even make sense.
It's not complicated, but before I go, but the Haka in the 25th dynasty said that he wanted something about take it back to the see, I'm a little tired.
Nah, man. Get the statement right.
That's why I said, yo.
He didn't say he wanted to take it back to the south, yo. He said he wanted to take it back to like original. I don't even know if that's a statement, but he ain't saying he want to take it back south.
No, I mean not to the south, but the original. But ain't the original the south?
No, the original it ain't. No, it's certain cultural practices that came from the south. It's certain cultural practices that come from the north. Certain cultural practices come from Libya, you know what I'm saying? The west. If the language come from northeast, down in there, Eritrea. Like, come on, yo, the foothills of Ethiopia, like it's just not one thing like everybody making it. That's why they're not lost.
So Hawkins is making a religious statement.
Yeah, he was.
They were Egyptian religious purists. You know what I mean? They shared the cult of Amen. So that was their main claim to fame, right there with Egypt. They felt as though the religion was somehow off, and they was restoring the cult of Amen. You know what I mean? That was their main reason for
Right.
the reason. Yeah.
Man, Unc talking like them northern Egyptians was pale skin. They wasn't pale skin. What? That go ahead, your phone going in and out, Chef.
Yeah, your phone going out in and out,
Yeah,
Chef.
yo, Mr. Anderson got you.
I think that goes to my next point.
Yeah, so anyway, the North Africans wasn't pale. Let's get that straight. Look at the skin map. They not pale. But go ahead, bro. I think I done did the damn thing.
Now, if that was a political statement, right, to say that we taking it back to the original concept, right? And
yeah, because the Mount of Almond is down in Nubia, all the way down there. I forget the name. Jabal Buck, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, that's hold on. It looked like a mountain, yo. You know that, right?
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, the shit is all the way down there in the south. You ain't know that?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. It looked like a face or something. Yeah.
I know. It's like almond. It look like almond.
It do look like an almond, right?
It like almond. It do. It's a mountain though. It ain't nobody called that.
But that's the thing. They always go to the south to pay homage.
Yeah, they do. Okay, but that what? Because that's a religious. But you got other things more than just. See, people got y'all thinking that everything is religion. Yo, what about the food, bro? You ever thought about that?
I mean,
what about the farming that actually sustained it, yo? Those grains come from Western Asia, right? And they're packaged in an African manner, the way they do the shit, the way they farm, the way they do all that. But things come from Asia. There ain't nothing wrong with that. They don't even know they in Asia coming in Africa, though. That's another part. They don't know that. I don't know about none of that, yo.
But thank you, Chef. Thank you, Unc. Thank you, Juju. Yeah, have a good one.
All right, man. And nigga falling asleep, dead sleep. Fall out. Chef, what's up? Your phone acting wild.
Oh no, it's back. No, I was saying to Hawker, their claim was they was making religious statements. Talking about it was the cult of Amen. They felt as though they had a right to the throne because of, it was a religious reason. But that would be cultural also because religion is a part of culture. So, you know what I mean? That it was more cultural and religious more than, saying that.
Taking them back to the almond, where almond is, the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure was.
But Asar is live right now, so I think Smash and them over there watching Asar doing his thing on y'all man Sandro Chapo Chichi.
Yeah, he can't do nothing more with that guy, yo. You know why? You know what?
Why?
Because he only got the whole thing. That's just 2 pages. Got about 15 pages, yo. And jumped out the river too quick. Always that, yo.
Yeah, that's where he at. But y'all did y'all numbers tonight.
Yeah.
My man Asar M. Kai, I'm glad you hit him with the Deontay Wilder punch. That threw him completely off. Threw him completely. And now he see how when somebody throw something wild at you that don't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
That's how you fight, nigga. You feel me?
Yep.
That's how you fight. You see, you ain't like that shit, did you?
No, I ain't like that. Wait a minute, start bringing out shit about M&A fighting. Nigga, I ain't asked you about no damn. I don't know nothing about no damn M&A. Talking about Devontae Walker. What's his name? I'm talking about the nigga you supposed to be training. Remember that shit you said, nigga? When? Show me the clip. Come on now. Nigga, so you is a trainer, huh? So, yo, he is a trainer, though. Okay. So you know you slipped that one in. You said you trained a heavyweight champ, I saw. That nigga really is a trainer, so he did say it. That's how we know you said it, yo.
Yeah, exactly.
He started talking about somebody. I trained. Start putting up pictures and shit. But ask that nigga to show that star he found. That nigga found a star. He ain't show that one yet. I saw the pseudo. Not to be confused.
He say so much wild stuff. Look,
right.
He say so much wild. He probably don't even remember he said it.
Right. Come on, yo. I didn't train. Nigga, you need to train yourself, yo. Then he showed a picture when he weighed about 150.
That was crazy, yo. Yo, he ain't
on the punch. I didn't even know that was him or not, yo.
But look, but it was the same shit.
Anthony Rumble. Yeah, hold on. Who is this? Look. Yeah, Anthony Rumble John. He did say that, yo. He said Anthony Rumble. I say Anthony Rumble Johnson. I don't know about no Anthony Rumble Johnson. Nah, Deontay Wilder, yo. That's what I'm talking about, yo.
Imhotep is funny.
Sorry, wild, yo. Just for that.
He threw out some Alibaba shit thingy. Like
Alibaba.
Straight left field, yo.
Like I ain't never got nothing for no damn Alibaba. Stop it.
Which had nothing to do with the conversation.
Nothing.
It was personal.
Exactly. You probably don't.
So now I can't ask nigga, yo, where you get your shipping at? Or I can't ask that now. That means you start my business. Hey chef, yo, where you get the panels for your barber? For your barber shop, yo. I like the way that shit got painted. Yo, what kind of paint you use? Then I usually say, I started on business. I but the paint.
Asar is the soldier boy of the conscious community.
Yeah, yo, you wild.
Soldier boy.
Yeah, soldier boy. He was the first to do everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yo, what show did he say he trained Anthony Wilder on? I mean, Wilder.
I don't know, yo. It was a show. And I might be messing it up. They might have been talking about Deontay Wilder. And he started talking about he was a trainer. But it doesn't matter. That's what he get. Because that's how he fight.
That's how he fight, yo.
Yeah, he throw a wild punch and kick out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now you fight. No, that's what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get. Niggas start showing all kind of training tapes and shit. In the middle of an Egyptian argument. What you talking about? Oh, you lying? Because look, he knew he knew he could actually prove that one, right? So he went, I say, okay, I'm gonna keep pushing that one. He starts showing all kind of pictures, UFC fighting, and just showing himself. He like this something.
Yeah,
nigga finally proved something. I said, yo, but I didn't ask you about that. I asked you about Wilder. Where them pictures at? Hey yo, yeah, I had fun tonight, dog. Hey yo,
got it.
Got him. Yeah, come on, man. You know we don't fight fair. I'm like you. I'm like him. What's up? That's how you want. If I'm gonna fight like that too, you tripping? Well, in the middle of reading a document, break out. Oh, Abju, I gave you the idea for that. Oh, I started your business. Oh, okay, nigga. All right, that's how you doing it, nigga. But he did say he found a star.
He never said a constellation something.
Constellation. We was like, what? Something. Yeah. In this document, I said, well, can you send it? We still waiting for the email.
What?
Pseudo Asar. Yeah, you ain't know that. Oh man, I'm
the only certified astronomer on the panel.
Yeah,
he had some certificate in astrology. It was something crazy, yo. Like
Everything
Yeah,
he done, he got a Nobel Peace Prize.
He
In
ain't
humanity.
trained no Anthony Rumble Johnson. That nigga was standing there in the picture, man. He ain't trained no. I'm a call Anthony. This nigga trained. You gonna say hell no? I just took a picture with him. Watch.
Yeah.
But you know he lying about something, yo. I just let him hold the bag for me. He was in the gym and he held the bag. You know that's what a saw do, yo. Here and you hold the bag for a nigga. And you say I trained him. You tell a nigga about Alibaba. I started the business. Boy, I tell you, man. He one of them kind of dudes, yo. He need all the
American
fame.
Dream actually proved that he belonged in the community today.
Who?
American Dream.
Oh yeah, he did good.
That's why I was saying, no matter what you disagree with someone else and other issues, when it comes to science, and if the person is, being factual and using a source, there's no denying that. For me to sit here and try to deny that would be me,
Because he done had
biases, right? And that's not scientific, and that's not using logical nor critical thinking. That's being biased and using prejudice. And yeah,
I done
that's
seen Corey call that man. What do you say? A Kentucky.
what he called him.
Kentucky green bluegrass.
Kentucky.
I see bluegrass in the back of his truck. I said he got the bluegrass in his back of his truck.
Lord.
The moment arose and he came out and he showed, I could be just as, you know what I mean, critical of the document as anybody else.
Yeah.
And he was the only one who got on there because he looked at it. He
looked at it. He read it.
He looked at it and he said, y'all not reading that shit right.
Yeah, he got him. I knew it. I was like, all right, he came through. Sometimes you get it out of nowhere, yo. You get it straight up.
In their same source. So, we have to be careful of misrepresenting work. We got to let the people know the whole story. The conference put out a journal, a book of all the arguments and discussions had. You get what I'm saying? So, of course they're going to print Diop, Jobs, excuse me. That got me saying it wrong like y'all. But of course they're going to print Shekinte Job's argument in that book. Does it mean that it was accepted? No, it doesn't mean that it was accepted by the consensus.
Yeah, that shit was crazy how they tried to pull that one off, yo.
That was the flamboyant that was being had, and that was a trip. So we just want to clear up the flamboyant.
Hey, Juju, I said they holding the ball out, yo, before they cross the fence.
Yeah, at the 40-yard line, they cheering already. You know how people cheer in the last. Wait a minute. You know, in teams they cheer in the last, minute or 30 seconds, and like in basketball and even in football, you get a good ass Hail Mary and win the game, or you can get a good, round in basketball and win the game at the last minute or so. So you got to be careful when you start to
Chef.
Early.
Hey, Chef, they did the Cincinnati Bengals shit that they did to the Ravens, yo. Remember the Ravens was getting ready to score, yo? Yo, held that motherfucking ball up like this, yo. We was like, yeah, he held that motherfucking ball up straight up in the air, yo. And then nigga knocked the ball out.
Knocked that ball out. Oh my God. Yo, I would have killed him.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, go watch that. It was the playoff game. This is what happened on Smash Show with Pseudo Asar. Right, it was actually the Baltimore Ravens, right? And they was going in for the score, right? Man, what's the quarterback name? I forgot his name. He made me so mad. What's his name?
What, for the Ravens?
Yeah, what's that nigga? I don't even want to say his name. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, Flacco?
Nah, man, when he held the ball straight up in the playoff game last year, yo, they get ready to score, yo. Oh,
it wasn't Jackson. It was the other dude.
Yeah, we don't even remember his name. We so mad at him. Anyway, the other guy.
The other guy.
Thought he was going to score, yo. He held that ball up. Hey, Juju, I'm going to send that to you. I wish I could show that, yo. That shit was, man, I was in tears. I was like, what? That's how pseudo Saw was, yo. Oh my goodness. Watch this. This is funny. What's going on?
Reggie was over there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you, Reggie, just for that.
Yeah,
just for all
Reggie smashed all of them. They was.
Let me clarify something for the audience. So in the UNESCO conference, again, there was like 200 and something odd people, and like 1/3 of them were African, indigenous Africans. So people to sit here and try to say that the conference was racist or, the consistent
still saying that?
white supremacist, y'all got to stop it. I mean,
They still saying that?
Take the wiki. Go read on UNESCO. I mean, read it all and try to find some understanding in that. I mean, yeah, we said it before. We can use black and be black and proud. Those are clearly political statements. Has nothing to do with science. When you're speaking about anthropology and other disciplines, those are scientific disciplines. So we have to use science as is.
What? They still saying that? They can't be still saying that. They just hate it.
Still wrong. Still wrong. So
listen to that, man. They hate
that's okay though. But moving on.
No, I ain't believing that. Yo.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, they're never going to stop saying it.
No,
really?
But it's crazy to say then one. It's crazy to say in one part, if you're a blackologist, that all people come from black people.
Say that.
And if you're saying that, you're saying that you have to be agreeing with the fact that, Africa has the most genetic diversity. And if we have the most genetic diversity, then yes, we can produce certain things of that nature. But if you're going to sit here and say that all of Africa is homogenous and black, you've got to be out your mind, and that's just crazy. And that is a fallacious thought process. But continue on, be you, go off.
If they're not black, Juju, they're not indigenous Africans.
But where did we get that from? When did Africa become black, quote unquote? Did Africans do that? Or did other people do that? Because in my studies, other people do that. I never heard an African call Africa the dark continent. That was other people. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did.
So, I mean, let's keep it 100.
So do we have any documentation? Because they're gonna come back. So look at
come back. I'm done. I'm not none of that.
Check it out. Is there any record?
Who said Africa's homogenous?
What you mean?
You can't say joke. If he said Egypt is homogenous, then we have to say Africa.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Africa. Do we have any record of lighter skinned peoples coming into North Africa and changing the population?
Nah.
I think we do though.
Not changing the population. What?
Yeah.
How?
What would be the record?
Yeah, how, yo?
You got all of these slaves, right, from the Vandal Empire coming into North Africa at particular times. Yo, that shit would account for something.
I don't know, yo. Stop.
Just look at the Barbary coast. What is it? The Barbary slavery, right?
Okay.
That was mainly Europeans being enslaved in North Africa to a large degree, right? If Africans change the population of the Americas, right, then why wouldn't these Europeans change the population of North Africa, where we make a significant dent in the population of the Americas, don't we? We eat 12% of the population. That's heavy.
I wouldn't say that we changed it.
I don't know. I'm not sitting there talking about some shit I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know.
The population here was like indigenous natives, okay? But we were imported here because they were
exactly. So was white people imported into North Africa.
We intermingled, huh?
Yeah, 12 million people didn't change how white people look, yo. Think about that for a minute. 12 million people didn't change the way white people look.
Right.
Why are you talking?
I'm just putting some pushback because I know what Reggie and them
Man, I ain't even listening to Reggie no more, man. Not in this conversation. Yo. That's my man, yo. I'm definitely not. Look, come on.
So now we finna go to the Barbary slave trade.
Yeah, now we hell with that, man. We can have that.
I mean, we can't deny it though.
I don't even know nothing about no daggone Barbary. You can have that, yo. Well, you okay with the
I hear what
Barbary
you're
slave
saying,
trade?
though. I hear what you're saying, but
Boy, you invincible, yo.
I'm just saying.
He definitely is invincible, yo. I gotta give it to you, yo.
I'm just saying, like it would have to play some. It would have to play some type of role. You know what I mean? In the population in North Africa.
All right, where can we read that at? We can't be the one saying it.
Yeah.
Let's pull it up.
Yeah, where can we read it? What you finna pull up? Wiki.
Wiki.
That's funny. Smash funny as shit, yo. Hey, funny with that shit.
Wiki.
I mean, it would be that. It would be Reggie. Reggie always brings out something called the Bach Treaty. And that's something where they I don't know. I ain't even gonna talk about that. Reggie can explain that. You know, the Greek period, the Roman period,
Man,
and then they talk about the Islamic period.
God.
I mean, I don't know.
Reggie on time.
They ain't coming back. They ain't coming back on this one though. On this conversation though, they done with that.
Oh yeah. Diop definitely was. UNESCO definitely didn't rock with Diop on.
Yeah, for all
on the Negro Egyptian hypothesis
or ancient Egypt being the black homogenous.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
They did not
messed up. I couldn't believe that the pseudo-saw didn't even know what the theory was. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
He ain't know what the theory was, yo. I'm gonna share this pseudo-saw on them, ladies and gentlemen.
Soldier boy of the conscious community.
There you go. Can y'all see the screen, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, we definitely see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bait it here because I want y'all to see it. I definitely want y'all to see it. Here you go. We thinking they about to win the game. Look. Here you go. Get ready to score. Ball pops. Whoop. There it go. Oh. That's Unc running down the sideline. Kennesaw, pseudo-saw them catching no Bloom. Get out of the way. Shut up. Yeah. There you go. That's what happened today, ladies and gentlemen.
That is hard.
There you go. One more time. There goes pseudo-saw about to score. He jumps. He holds the ball up. Bow. Get that shit out of here. Doom. Bumbling. Brother Unc got him. He's gone. He will go all the
way.
Get the black apostles out of here.
Get out of here.
That's it.
Get it out of here. Get it out.
I tried to tell them they were celebrating too early, yo. They ain't listen to me. I say, all right.
How you got me acting crazy like you?
Okay.
That's crazy.
I ain't trying to play nothing off. I'm right here. What am I playing off? I ain't playing nothing off. Diop did not get that off. I'm not even arguing about that no more. I don't care how many times you pull a document out and read it. Nope. Pseudo-saw celebrated way too early, yo.
They cherry picked the source, people.
Come on, yo. You cherry picked it. You cherry picked through the two loops. They ain't read all that. They ain't read the part where they say the majority of the people didn't agree to that. They read it right off the thing. Yep, I ain't read it no more. Here we go, yo. Come on, Kenny Love. John Jones, can you get your time? Look, can you give us a timeline on your evolutionary theory? Stop it. Of course I can, but it won't happen today. Smash Rock Wells. What a saw over there? What the greatest saw who Tep talking about, yo? He trying to, what he doing, yo? What he trying to do? What's going on over there, Juju? Should we go over there and see what they doing? Hey, man, hit the Cash App, though. On the way out the door, man, y'all got to hit the Cash App, man. Come on, man. It's Friday, man.
Have
Friday.
fun.
Y'all got support. Come on, man. Stop playing. Come on, man. Somebody drop the link. Sadiq, what's going on, bro? Where you at, Sadiq? Magi Archer, I ain't heard from you in a while, man. What you hiding? Trying to hear your point, yo. You always got mount a great argument, yo. Sadiq, calling Sadiq. Where you at, Sadiq? I see you, Sadiq. Magi Archer, I see you. Smash say, look, Smash. Hold on, Smash say, good show, back.
He said, good show, bad info, peace. How is it? It's out the same.
Juju, you don't got you. We already up. Don't break an ankle.
I don't break bones.
Yo, we putting away the they turned the lights out in the stadium. It was over with, yo. The game's over, yo. We did get it off. Yo, we deciphered what parts he got through and what parts he didn't, yo. That's yo. Oh, okay. You waiting to know. I don't got no argument for that. I don't even argue about no North African population. Nope. Done. We UNESCO to death. I'm done. I'm exhausted all day. I'm done. Yeah, we done. We out of that. The North. What's the North African argument about? Egypt is the northeast pop. Anyway, I don't know. Hey, Gigi, we had some fun, man.
Yeah, I love playing with my food, just like them orcas. The orcas play with their food before they eat it.
Crazy. Look, I tell you what's funny though. Oh man, yo, Saul led the way, yo. Like if he leading the way, yo, and everybody else think
Soldier boy of the conscious community. He started it all.
Yo. You knew he was gonna miss something. Yo. You just knew that guy wasn't gonna read the whole book.
He gonna say he started the House of Consciousness next.
Right. Pseudo killers. I've been knowing you since Blog Talk days. I don't remember that. You definitely wasn't a standout. That's for sure. Not gonna doubt that you wasn't there, yo, but you definitely wasn't a standout, dog.
Got benched in the first quarter.
Yeah, I definitely that, yo. Yeah, talk crazy too all day. Hey, man, that debate coming, man. Look, Sunday. If Ali don't start nothing crazy, Ali always do something crazy though, man. They always do something crazy, yo. I promise you, yo. It ain't been going too smooth, Juju.
Too smooth.
Somebody gonna jump out the window with something ridiculous. Why? It's gonna be, it's going too smooth. These last couple of debates been too smooth and easy going.
Lord.
Watch. I can just feel it in my bones, yo.
That's arthritis, Bobby, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Damn. You wow. You just getting started. It's your time of the night too.
You already know. Let me get on mute.
Time of the night, man. 1 o'clock, $30, y'all. Sunday, July 30th. Welcome to the big leagues. Sarnetta TV Productions, man. It's going down. Get them tickets, man. Get them early. They're going out the door. Hey, man. It's been a great show, man. Y'all know what it is around here. Bobby Banger, man. Baltimore, Maryland, man. Lucille, man. That's where I was raised up at right here, man. From there, yo, I ain't fronting, yo. See that wood on the door, yo, right there, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, man, hit that Cash App, man. Stop playing, man. Let me see. Let me see if y'all showing love or just playing. I'm great. Go over to Sarnetters and beat somebody. Yep.
Go beat them up, Bobby Banger.
Yeah, go over there and beat them up as they all mess up evolution and do all that.
They say the whole pseudo community over there on the panel right now. Oh, boy. Peace. We out.
Yeah, we out, man. We definitely out, man. Appreciate you, man. Hit the Cash App, man. Let me see who hit that Cash App, man. I appreciate that support, man. I know somebody showed some love, man. We appreciate that, man. Mr. Taylor, man, that's love right there. Appreciate you, bro. All day. Joel, man, I see you, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey, Jeffrey, appreciate you, bro. All day, every day, man. Completely appreciate everybody, man. Hit that Cash App going out the door, man. Bobby Banger, man, your host. Make sure y'all support that debate, man. Hey, man, we mess with who mess with us around here, man. Remember, intellectual gunfighter, man. I'm going to take my licks, man. But I'm going to keep on ticking. Y'all know what it is, man. We keeping it right where it need to, man. Y'all know, man, that favorite song going out the door, man. Pseudo always die at its source. Y'all know this, man. The lady pseudo killers, man. Dedicated to them, yo. For all the women that pseudo killers, man. Y'all know what it is. Hold on, let me get that right. Let me start over again. Y'all know what it is, man. Bobby banging this bitch, man. We doing it like we supposed to do it. Appreciate everybody in the building, man. Zayat, man. Thunder. Butcher and Evolution, we're over there and straighten it up, man. Shout out to American Dream, yo. Did his thing, man. Don Johannes, Kyle, Alexander. Y'all know what it is, man. Appreciate you, Juju. Dang song, all heroes. A whole box of trees, and everybody muted up with Juju about to speak. This that double S chromosome, pseudo killer theme song. About to go over here to Sonetta, man. Get the evolutionary piece straight. I need to say peace. A whole box of trees, and everybody muted up with Juju about to speak. Big up to all support, man. Cash App, man. We out, man. Going over here, man. Beat them up on evolution because they know not what they say. Shout out to Sonetta, man. Subscribe to all the channels, man. Big up to the community of skeptics, man. We in here, man. We are skeptical for what human beings tell us. Pseudo killers on deck, man. I'm a raw squad up, Magi Archers. Doing the science with Sean. Kofi, Pasa Research Team.